Starting tomorrow, the NBA playoffs get started. We got to talk some WNBA draft because that draft was star-studded and it did some numbers. And you know what? I got a flagrant foul for you too, along with some other things. So let's go. It's shooting lights out time. NBA playoffs.
Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting lights out.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? Friday, April 19th, the final day of the play-in tournament, because tomorrow begins the NBA playoffs. Now, we have seen a lot of things that happen in these play-in tournaments games. We've seen a lot of things happen during the regular season. But now we get to the real fun now, starting tomorrow with the NBA playoffs. So I got the preview for it. Also, we're going to talk about tonight's two final play-in games. Who are going to get the one who want to play against the one seeds, which don't look good for neither one of them. Nevertheless, we're going to do it, and I am not by myself today. First up, ladies and gentlemen, this man here, he's part of the reigning, defending NBA champion Denver Nugget fan base. Y'all might know him from another show that he does with me from Monarchs of Wrestling. That's every Monday at 6:30 live. Happy to bring him on to talk some basketball with me because it's only fair. We'll be talking playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cool McCain.
What up, though?
Hey, man. Playoff time. That's all I got to say is playoff time.
You forgot one thing, though.
What was that?
You said reigning and defending, but you didn't say undisputed champions. World champions. Just wanted to point that out.
No, I just want to lead the, undisputed out for this. Okay. I already gave you enough love, all right? Okay. The simple fact that I did this. I brought a champ on, okay? Key's in the building. What's up, Key?
Key.
Don't worry, I got somebody who should be joining us shortly. That's gonna be fun. My boy Alex Alcazar, the Bearman of Texas, in the building. What's up, man? At least I can get you finally watch me live for once instead of having going back and rewatch it. So, Oh Lord, Key already started. Good gracious.
Oh,
He
it ain't nothing to
already
that,
started.
sir. That's expected.
He already started. We gonna get there throughout the show. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. But we got playoffs happening. But first off, I gotta recap what took place this Monday with the WNBA Draft. See, me and Cool, we was wrapping up Monster Wrestling when the WNBA Draft was taking place. So we didn't get to it. But I get watching Lord have mercy. WNBA Draft was awesome. Star-studded field. And a couple of teams caught my attention of what they did. For those of you who don't know, I am a New York Liberty fan. I like what we did. We went big. Okay, we went big. We went for size. So we got Jessica Carter from Mississippi State. I like what we did. Key says the Sky won the draft. Key, I bet the difference. I bet the difference who won the WNBA draft. And I'm going to see what Cool thinks. Who do you think won the WNBA draft?
So there's a couple of teams that I like what they did. So I'm gonna give you a couple of teams I think really won the draft. Right? I think definitely the Liberty. Markeisha Davis.
No, we needed a guard.
That's a baller. You know what I'm saying?
And she's a defender too, so we got a two-way guard at that.
When I say baller, I mean that's a baller. Like it don't matter offense, defense, special teams, kickoff, punt return. I know we're talking about a different sport, but whatever you need her to do, she's gonna do, and she can step in right away. It's not gonna take a lot of time for her to get the job done. I also think the Las Vegas Aces had a really good draft. To not have a first-round pick and to go out and get Daisha Fair, who she's undersized, but she's spunky. And she got that dog in her. You know what I'm saying? To go out and get Kate Martin, who was Caitlin Clark's running mate. So someone who understands already coming in, I don't need to be the lady. I can be the other lady and get mine. Right? Questions about them both as far as their durability in the WNBA, but good pickups nonetheless. And then obviously the Sparks, with getting the players that they got. Brink, of course, you have to start with Brink. You have to, right? And then you realize that the Sparks basically had a choice to make. Do we want Cameron Brink or Camila Cardoso? They chose Cameron Brink. So that means for the next 10 years or plus, whatever Cameron Brink does, if it doesn't equal what Camila Cardoso does, they can talk about how the Sparks made the wrong choice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a couple of those in there.
Let me get started. Okay, we already know who was the number one pick. It was quite obviously who was going to be the number one pick. But
and Playmaker, if I can say one more thing, a sleeper team, it's not going to be this year, but you wait maybe next year, maybe 2 years down the line. The Atlanta Dream are going to have murdered the draft. 3 19-year-olds that already have professional experience. They don't even have to come play this year. They can still go where they're at and continue to play and come over in a year or two. Or they can stash them on the bench and let them learn under the veterans that are now part of the Atlanta Dream. Watch this Dream draft. It wasn't for this year. But if we're talking the impact it's going to have on the team, these ladies are some hoopers. In a couple of years, they're going to be ready for the WNBA.
A couple of years. So you putting 2 years on it. So we talking 2026.
Yeah, by 2026. Could be 2025, but by 2026. And I mean, a lot of people want to say Indiana had a great draft because they got Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was a great pickup. But is she by herself going to make
we understood she was going to be the number one pick. And just the most viewed WNBA draft they ever had, 2.5 million views. I got the numbers.
Yeah, I like the
numbers right here. You talking about 2.5 million viewers, peaked at 3.09 viewers at one point. Just record shattering everywhere because of Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest.
Oh, and I want to shout out Cameron Bree, Camila Cardoza, Kia Jackson, Angel Reese, and Aaliyah Edwards, among others, for their attire. Very beautiful. These ladies look very beautiful. They exuded confidence and sexiness at the draft, right? So you saw some beautiful, very gorgeous women in lovely outfits go up and, become WNBA players. So I like to shout it out because we talk about it, and one of the things we always say, if you want the women's game to grow, there has to be some sex appeal. Everybody can't be out there looking like they can beat you up next week. So we're getting there.
Gotcha. Yeah, they all looked good. Yeah, they looked good.
I appreciate it.
I give them that. They were looking good. So, but yeah, here's all the numbers. Most even watched the WNBA countdown. I mean, then again, you did have like the 3 ladies who carried us through the NCAA tournament, kicking off the WNBA draft. So I mean, Elle Duncan, Andrea Carter and Chanel Gumake.
And that's yes.
Yeah, keep it right there. Keep it right there.
Yes. I was gonna say yes.
So okay, Indiana pick Caitlin Clark number 1. There's no big. Here are the first round picks. Cameron Britt 2, Camilla 3, Wakila Jackson, sneaky good pick by the Sparks at 4 from Tennessee. All right, Aaliyah Edwards to the Washington Mystics. If they healthy, that could be a nice addition. If they are healthy,
That make you say mystical danger.
I'm just
see what I thought. It was the first thing I thought.
Angel Reese to the sky. There's some good picks. You couldn't go wrong. But let's go to Indiana, shall we? Here's what Indiana has. Obviously, Clayton Clark number 1. They came back and get Celeste Taylor from Ohio State 2. And then they get Lylena Core from my Florida Gators at 3. So you got the top scorer in all of college basketball in Clayton Clark. You have a great defender in Taylor from Ohio State, and you have a great scorer in Core from Florida. That backcourt going in some, like you said about the dream. Put that same timeline for the Indiana. That backcourt could be nasty.
No, sir. We're not even gonna put that time on the backcourt. That backcourt is gonna be good this year.
You want to? Okay. That backcourt is that's a nasty backcourt right there. Okay.
So let's Taylor. That's your defender.
Yeah.
That's your lady that's gonna come out. If I remember correctly, I believe that she led her conference in steals. So she gets after that ball. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's somebody you want to have, and I liked that pickup for them. A lot of the teams filled needs, and that's why a lot of teams got good grades, in my opinion, or did really good in the draft because they filled needs. There wasn't a lot of I just like this player, so we're gonna draft them. We needed guard play, for instance, for Indiana. They went out and got guard play.
Can't be mad at that. And then of course, they did have the number 1 pick last year, and then you know who they did number 1 last year.
Yes. Leah Boston.
So now you got Leah Boston and Clayton Clark on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember, if you was with me last week when I did it, 36 of their 40 games is being nationally televised. After they only had one nationally televised game last year.
Caitlin Clark's jersey sold out. The last time I checked, I think they had a few smalls.
I have never seen a player, I'm talking all sports, jersey sell out after the draft. She ain't even put the jersey on yet.
Right. And you got to remember, too, she got the new shoe deal with Nike, too.
8-figure Nike deal.
8-figure Nike deal with signature shoe.
Like, think about this. This woman hadn't even put on her jersey yet. She don't even know what it felt like to put on that jersey. And that junk is sold out.
Mm-hmm. Now, she had a Nike NIL deal already. They just converted that because it canceled when she left school. So they're just converting that to an 8-figure, professional contract now. So she's not new to Nike, but this is going to be like a new contract, just to clarify for some people.
Just,
might not know.
It's just crazy.
Yes,
so,
it is, sir.
That's right. The CC effect, Clayton Clark effect. What you got here? He says they had to change the game to Washington because their arena. Yep. The Mystics have to change their. They can't even play Indiana in their own arena
Mm-mm.
because that mug is sold the heck out. For
Speaking
Caitlin
of
Clark.
sellouts, there's another team that's got a lot of sellouts too.
I want to be.
That would be the Atlanta Dream.
Yeah, you can throw the Aces in there. You can throw the Liberty in there.
You can. But I'm a Dream fan, so we talking about the Dream.
True, the ticket being selling out everywhere. Okay, so yeah, that's Indiana. All right, Indiana. They got who they wanted. She wanted to go to Indiana. That's why she declared for the NBA for the WNBA draft because she wanted to be in Indiana. So they got what they wanted. Now, if my buddy Eric Wilson is watching, Chicago, they got the Sky Towers. Y'all let them get Carmelo Cardo's at number 2, and then y'all let them to go back at 7 to grab Angel Reese.
And they made a trade to get the 7. They traded up a pick.
If y'all, we seen the battle between them two in the SEC. Now they're teammates.
Yeah, and you know it go further than the SEC.
They go back to high school.
Yeah. But yeah, them on the same team. I will say this: they both are two ladies that's got to work on their perimeter game. But we've seen people do it. Asia Wilson did it. You know, so it could be done. It's just gonna take some work, right? Working on that other part of the game. But they both get to the point where they can be inside out and play together. And then when they need to go in there and beat them Twin Towers, that could be something special. You know, you just got to get they both got to be ready to work. It's going to take some time. And then they got Teresa Weatherspoon as their coach. Teaspoon the coach.
Teaspoon's the coach.
If you're not going to listen and develop under Teresa Weatherspoon, then you got to go, not her. You got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look here. What's gonna happen in Chicago? I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Chicago, especially with them two.
Oh, but don't sleep on their other pick, Maxwell. Don't sleep on her.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that.
2.7% 3-point shooter.
Look, here's what I'm gonna say about this whole salary thing with the WNBA. They haven't had attention like this.
Right, everybody want to complain about the salary, but where they gonna get the money from?
They haven't.
People say that they're not profitable, so they're not at a loss. Like last year, they weren't at a loss, but they haven't been profitable in that they're not, after operating expenses, they haven't had a large amount of money left over, right? But that's because, again, just like Playmaker just said, people ain't been watching. What people been saying? Oh, the women's game is boring. And, you know, I don't really like it. It's boring. It's slow. It ain't fun. You know, ain't nobody I really care about.
Let me drop some truth on y'all. Okay. This is even before Caitlin Clark. Do you know the tension of the women's game really started with the WNBA? Because when New York did because we already knew when the Aces got CP3, it was like, well, we know who's going to go back to back.
The real CP3, by the way. The real CP3.
We know who they're going. And then all of a sudden, New York came out of nowhere. They traded for a former MVP and Jarquell Jones. And then Breonna Stewart is up in there. She sounds living, and it's like, oh, wait a minute now. Right? We got a competition here. New York trying to rival the Aces. And guess who's in the WNBA finals? The Aces and the Liberty. That's when traction for the women's game started. And then you had the whole thing, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and all this mess, which actually started with Caitlin Clark and Haley Van Lith, if you were really paying attention. And then Angel Reese decided to get it back to Caitlin Clark when she won the national championship. And then going into this year, and it's like, oh, Paige Becker is back healthy. Still got Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese trying to repeat. Juju was like most talented freshman coming in, and she showed why she was.
And don't forget them girls in South Carolina.
And of course, Don Staley is Don Staley. Okay. So we can say like this is year 2 of the attention of women's game being what it is.
Can I make one alteration in my opinion to that, sir?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it really started 3 years ago. back when the Sky won their championship. I think that was the pivotal point. That's when people really started watching. When Candace Parker went to Chicago home and then they won that championship, I think that's when it started. You know what I'm saying? And then it continued to grow to the point that you're talking about, just from what I see.
Yeah. So, hey. Yes, you need to go to a Dallas Wings game. Yes. Yes, you need to go. All right.
I'm gonna be at a Dream game this year for sure.
Take your butt to a Wings game and then put it on the website and talk about your experience so people will understand. All right.
Oh, they're not ready for it. It's not the same. It's not an NBA experience at all. It's like
I bet.
It's more close-knit. It's more fun. Like all kinds of things happen. People that got engaged at games, all kind of stuff. Like it's like crazy. I mean, not like, I mean, you say, oh, you're just going to know. There's people that like, so at a Dream game last year, I'm not a player, just a couple came down, like they were getting like introduced and getting like something on the floor. So then the woman turns back around, rings out, will you marry me? You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Like they will integrate it and help you make it happen during like a break on the floor. Now you got to be up in the stands and everybody trying to move away so the camera can see. It's a different experience.
I got you. Definitely got you on that. Key saying she's going to a Washington game either against the Spurs or the Sky. Matt, I won't blame you on that one.
She makes a good point under that too.
Definitely won't blame you for that. I don't got no WNBA team here in Florida, so I mean,
well, I don't got one in North Carolina.
You don't even care about North Carolina.
I care about North Carolina basketball, college.
We ain't gonna talk about that because I know how you felt. He said, "I need the whole WNBA to cater to fluffy
folks."
No comment.
You can get some T-shirts bigger.
No comment. All right, so we had the Chicago's Sky with the Sky. I call them the Sky Towers because people in Chicago like using the Sky with everything, you know.
That works.
Oh, and by the way, Angel Reese picked her new nickname, Mr. Shy Barbie. I was gonna go with Shy Princess.
It was Bayou Barbie, so I had the Chi-Town part, but I was trying to figure out maybe like what could be the C, but the Shy Barbie just doesn't have the same ring. But hey, you do what you do. So
that's one team I looked at that did good in the draft. The other team I looked at did good in the draft, the LA Sparks. Oh my gosh, knew they was gonna get Cameron Brate. We knew that. Mm-hmm. Then they follow back up with Rakita Jackson from Tennessee, and then. Boy. Then they said, wait a minute, we ain't done yet. We got one more pick. And they went and grabbed Mackenzie Forrest from USC. I'm like, LA's trying to make a comeback. Mm-hmm. If y'all don't understand how big this is, they got a girl inside in Cameron Brate, a defensive mechanism in Cameron Brate, who also can put up points in the paint as well. If you haven't watched Tennessee basketball, then you don't know. Then you must be out your mind because Rakita Jackson was the star of that team. And then Mackenzie Forrest. When Juju couldn't get it done in the Pac-12 championship game, and they needed somebody to step up, Mackenzie Forrest put on a show.
Yes, she did. She did the thing.
You got three ladies that can put the ball in the bucket like anybody else. And then if you want to get to the rim, go ahead and get ready to get challenged by Cameron because she like throwing shots. So for me, the LA Sparks, they're making a comeback. Now, how long would it take them for them to make that full comeback? We don't know. I give them 2 years. because they building something in LA. And you push, if there's Magic Johnson involved, he ain't gonna take not doing well for too long. He gonna do something.
I think you got to put the Mystics up there too, though.
Go ahead.
Because you look at Leah Edwards.
Yeah.
Here's a true fact about UConn players: they translate to the WNBA because they're taught how to play the WNBA game by Gino in college. So they translate easy most of the time. I don't see it being any different with Leah Edwards. Then you talk about Kaylin Trone, point guards from Gonzaga. Let me tell you something about point guards from Gonzaga in either league. They're smart. They understand how to play the traditional point guard role. They understand how to be a facilitator. They make the shots that they need to make. They're tough. And they're coachable. Right? Then they went back and got Nastja Claessens from Belgium. They drafted a Belgian player back some years ago, Emma Messerman. They ended up being, pretty solid for him. So I think their GM feels like he can identify that talent. And again, sometimes you grab people, you just say, we're going to stash them right for a year or two and see how they develop. But you got their rights if they decide to slide over. Or they could be somebody that could be effective, immediately. Get them in camp and see what they got. So I think they did very good in the draft as well.
And Key also added that, Zaya Cook is on that team, which is that's that. Cook and Jackson in the backcourt, good Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
That's just wrong. They have them two in the backcourt. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
And he also said when EDD comes back, that's going to be a fire squad.
Anytime you add Atlanta Deladon to any squad, that's a better squad.
Definitely is. But however, with everything that was good, Indiana, Sparks, Chicago, my Nibley did good, We talked about the Mystics, and before I continue on, ladies and gentlemen, back to the program is the man who is the creative genius of a lot of different things. He is called the EP of all EPs, the mad scientist. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program, Mr. Cole Johnson.
Shout out to the BIP.
All right. You doing cool? How you doing, Playmaker?
Hey, better now. There's a big dog in the
You
building.
jumped in at the right moment because we already talked about what the Fever did in the draft. We already talked about what the Sky did in the draft, and you talked about what the Spurs did in the draft. But however, ladies and gentlemen, there is one team, and they're not playing fair.
What's up, Key?
They are not.
Are you talking about the Aces?
They are not playing fair.
Well, that's what top dog should do.
Before you go, Coach, I got to
go ahead, bro. I didn't much to say.
The 2-time back-to-back reigning champions, and they mess around and say, you know what, y'all doing all this. Oh, let me get Deja Fair. Oh, let me get Kate Martin. Oh, by the way, we got another pick. Let me get Elizabeth Kentley. Really?
That's what top dog teams should do. And I have said this often. If you are a top team, I don't care what sport it is. I don't care what gender the sport is. If you're the top dog, you should say to the other teams, we're going to improve our team, and you got to do something to stop us. And if you don't, we're going to continue to rule. I love it.
I want y'all to understand this. The Aces didn't lose nobody important. Kelsey Plum is still there. Chelsea Gray is still there. Jackie Young is still there. Adrian Wilson is still there. Candace Parker is coming back.
The real CP3 is still there.
And then you see this. And then you see they draft class from this past Monday, and it's like, bruh.
And you know what's dangerous about it too, y'all? Elizabeth Kidd ain't even playing this year.
She's not. She don't have to play this still. She can sit back behind Adrian Reese and Candace Parker and just learn. And just sit there and learn.
Elizabeth Kitley just gets to sit in Vegas, get better, rehab, probably win another ring. Probably win a ring on the best team in the WNBA because ain't nobody caught him. Let's be real.
No,
And
no
then
one's caught him
Angel
yet.
Jackson has a chance to possibly make the roster and have a leg up on Kitley next year that can maybe keep both of them on that team in roles as bigs. Because, you know, some of these other ladies, they getting a little bit long in the tooth and they starting to get in that street clothes era. Call it what it is.
The street clothes era. I love it.
For those who don't understand, Fair was one of the top scorers in women's college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
When you already got one of them, that's Kelsey Plum, who was a top scorer in women's college basketball.
Well, Becky understands the assignment.
And then you went and got
Kate Martin.
You went and got her running mate, Kate Martin.
Kate Martin. Caitlin Clark's running mate, who was the defensive mechanism of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Which adds with Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young. And then Elizabeth Kenton, who has a torn ACL, she gets to sit behind and learn under the tutelage of Candace Parker and then Aja Wilson.
And dare say, I think the Aces got the best of all worlds. You know, considering that. So of course the pick of all picks for this draft would be Caitlin Clark, and then the next question was, okay, where is Angel Reese going to go? You're not really hearing so much. You're hearing a little bit, but you're not hearing so much. Wow, the Queens actually stacked up, and they actually have more firepower. I love it.
That's why I made it so they ain't playing fair.
I love it.
When you thought you was catching them, they're like, nah.
And they did all this without a first round pick.
Yes, that's what makes it even better. I'm like, okay, so they don't have to contend with the woman on on the sideline and the women on the court. They got to contend with the boardroom of the Aces too. Yeah, you got to come up with a big time game to dethrone these queens.
Yes, who actually is my favorite coach in the WNBA, even though I'm a Liberty fan, which is like crazy within itself.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how I felt when that WNBA finals went down.
Yeah. You weren't feeling it. I understand though. Ace is just too good, but you know the Ace is just too good. You cool and I know that.
They got Bill too. Good gracious.
Yeah, they did get Bria Bill.
Oh my gosh.
The rich get richer.
But is everybody gonna make the team though? You gotta think about that too.
Who's going to get cut? Yeah, that's the question. Who's going to get cut? Because the season starting.
That's a good question.
The season starting like what? 3 weeks. Season starts like 3 weeks. So
yeah.
This is ridiculous. The Aces is not paying for it. I'm just saying the Aces are not playing for it.
I love it.
They just not playing for it.
They doing what they're supposed to do, man.
I know, but I need the Liberty's the only original team to not have a championship. I need them to get one, but the Aces are making it so difficult.
Are they the only original team that don't have a championship?
They the only original WNBA team to not win the championship.
The Sting won a championship, sir?
Who?
The Charlotte Sting, an original team?
That still exists.
Okay, well, you didn't answer the comments don't exist, but they got championships. So, you know what I'm saying? That's an important word to add, sir.
Yeah, that feeds into my little bit of anger toward the WNBA and contracting the comments, but I will not derail this wonderful program for that.
Right.
I got to throw a spot for what it did to the Sting too. So I will follow Cole's lead, and I will zip that for a later conversation.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the WNBA. So we're gonna take a break right here. When we come back, the Team Avengers have assembled.
Avengers, Lord.
I mean, that's the name me and Cole started with already back in last summer. So, so you might as well keep rolling with it. So
just hope this ain't in game.
After this commercial break, we're gonna dive into Team USA on the men's side because Team Avengers have assembled.
Free Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, W-I-Z-E.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Get mounts of entertainment with Paramount Plus. Stream new movies such as Mean Girls, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and Good Burger 2 with Paramount Plus. Stream live sports such as the UEFA Champions League, the NFL on CBS, the PGA Tour, and March Madness. Catch hit CBS shows such as Fire Country, Ghost, NCIS, and more. But also catch exclusive originals for Paramount Plus such as Special Ops Lioness, The Family Stallones, and the hit series Halo. The new streaming home of Showtime. Watch Showtime original series and movies when you sign up with Paramount Plus with Showtime. Make it a fun, action-packed adventure for the whole family and create kid-friendly profiles for the little ones. So much to stream with Paramount Plus, with over 45,000 full episodes from BET, CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, and more. Paramount Plus plan starts at $5.99, but if you subscribe today, you get a free trial. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting the Lights Out with Cool McCain and Cole Johnson here. And this is one of the moments that me and Cole Johnson was dreading ever since the FIBA World Cup took place. And yeah, let's get to it. Team Avengers have assembled. We have LeBron James, Kevin Durant. For the first time, donning a USA jersey on the Olympic Games, Steph Curry. Joel Embiid decided over France to join the U.S. team. Jason Tatum. Then you have Devin Booker on the team, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, and the person to get the last spot, Kawhi Leonard.
Speaking of the street clothes era,
I would like to say this. If I am the LA Clippers, I am completely pissed off. If I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm like, yo, Joel, you need to talk to him. As a matter of fact, don't worry about it. We'll call. You use him when you need him. Cause this man need to be wrapped in bubble wrap when he on the field with the nanobites to keep him healthy. Him and Kawhi. Like, come on, y'all. I understand we want to have like certain guys play. I get it, but that last spot could have went to a guy that is longer, that can play different defense. A guy that's probably going to be the runner-up for Rookie of the Year. Why not Chet Holmgren? He can shoot. He's young. He can log a lot of minutes if needed, and length defense. What we gonna do when we play friends? What we gonna do when we play these teams that got all these big dudes? Because Joel Embiid ain't bodying nobody big.
No, you want to take him out to the arc.
And then we know AD. I mean, the emperor of the street clothes brigade. You know what I'm saying?
That's why me and Cole down there after what took place in FIBA, like they finna assemble Team Avengers, and guess what they did?
Mm-hmm.
They assembled Team Avengers.
Every elite NBA player they could find.
They got a couple of Tony Starks though.
They got the Lord. Yeah, they got a couple of Tony Starks, and unfortunately, no Captain America. But this was coming. And what sucks is we were hearing these rumblings and having bronsexuals say, well, hey, you know LeBron needs to get one more gold medal. I'm like, the dude will be on the doorstep of 40. Why would you want him to even participate in this? This is when he should just simply step aside and say, hey, youngins, your turn. This is when LeBron didn't need to be out there. It's like, okay, well, whoever gets it, gets it. But I mean, come on, man. You got him, you got Durant, you got Davis, you got Kawhi, you got Embiid. You actually might have people not even look at the action on the court. They'd be looking on the sideline.
Who are the alternates? That's what I want to know. I'm sorry, Cole, but who are the alternates?
Yeah,
we need to know who the alternates are. Because there's a good chance with this lineup that they're going to be playing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because the people in the stands, people in Paris, they're going to be looking at the sideline. Be like, wow, the best players in the world actually are in street clothes. I mean, jeez, man. It's just, I just find it ridiculous. So to me, this is the time where you got to have Jason Tatum actually take the bull by the horns and say, this is my team, and Devin Booker has to say something similar. Otherwise, I don't like where this team is going in Paris. I don't.
So I did get what I wanted, unfortunately.
What, Kawhi on the team?
No.
I'm about to say, that's what you wanted. What you thinking?
No. I wanted Steph Curry to do one run with the Olympic team.
I don't mind Curry.
I don't mind him either. Because he's
30 years trying to, you know what I'm saying, be the king of NBA USA basketball either.
Yeah, I don't mind Curry at all. In all of this, that, you know, with the street clothes era, that isn't to Curry because he has a game where he won't really get injured because he can stretch a court. So I'm good with that. I'm good with him, and this is his first Olympic shot. So cool.
I want to see how he gonna stretch the court because that's something I don't think people are used to. Having somebody like that can shoot from damn near anywhere.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and that's going to have to probably be their biggest weapon is to have him stretch the court.
You know who's going to be my most exciting player to see, and he's going to be around for a long time. That's Mr. Anthony Edwards. That's what I want to see. I want to see the young boy get out there and put in work.
I would have called his name out, but I'm thinking the team 4 years from now, that might be his. But that fella, whoo,
yeah, I mean,
he is must-see TV right now.
Yeah,
oh my
we
gosh!
need to see him that work. Him and Devin Booker.
Oh,
y'all got to let people know, like, Jason Tatum.
This our team.
But y'all the in between people.
Yeah, this our team.
You only
Yeah.
the one repping for the next 12 years.
Right.
The thing with Anthony Edwards, he got a taste of it because he was part of the FIBA. He was part of the FIBA team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was the face of that team.
But we know FIBA and Olympics is a little bit different, honestly.
Yeah.
You know,
it is. But I'm saying he got a little taste of international basketball. So, and now that even though we don't like it, but the fact that LeBron James and Kevin Durant is on that team, they can probably pass some knowledge to Anthony Edwards.
Can I go on a tangent for 2 seconds? After you.
Okay, I'll say this real quick because I want to hear this tangent. Maybe LeBron and Durant could be for this team like what Larry Bird was for the Dream Team in '92, where he got some action and he had some time, but that back said, "Oh no, you're going to be laying on the floor and watching the others do their thing." Hopefully that could happen here because I really believe the youthful energy needs to step up and shine. Otherwise, you're going to have some issues in 2028 and maybe 2032.
So my quick tangent is this. The U.S. needs to stop. The whole program needs to stop what they're doing. And I'm going to tell you why. Every year, we go to the FIBA. Every couple of years, we go to FIBA.
Right.
And we had a second-tier dudes go, and they barely win or they get their butt whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Then, Olympic time, all of a sudden, here go the Avengers assembling.
Mm-hmm.
So why not say we're going to recruit better talent? And I'm not saying LeBron James and those guys, but there's a lot of guys that were better that should have been on the team for the United States that were not on that FIBA team. We wait until the Olympics, and then all of a sudden now we want to put the best that we got out there. But we're not even putting the best group of young American players out there in FIBA, and we wondering why we losing. We wondering why we're not dominating. We wondering why you go into the Olympics every time the last, 3 or 4 Olympics, with people talking about, there's competition for America. Because they are hanging with us or whooping our butt in FIBA. Stop playing and get these dudes ready in FIBA so that when we move over to the Olympics, you just add 1 or 2 veterans that want to get that last run. Instead, y'all be playing. Y'all be having these dudes that should not be on the Olympics at the Olympics.
Well, that's the Olympic team. And Team Avengers have assembled for Paris. So let's see if half of these guys can make it through the playoffs without being injured.
It's going to be a bunch of Thanos snaps.
Cool's Rant was brought to you by Negro Please.
I be getting tired of them, man. They play too much.
That's what they do. And going from one rant, we going to another rant because, ladies and gentlemen, this has to be done. Like there's nowhere around it. This has to be done. So y'all get ready. That's right. We have a flagrant foul, and don't be surprised what the flagrant fouls are going to be on. Don't be surprised. But I'm not the one that's going to start this off. That would be one, Mr. Cole Johnson. But here we go. Those of you who've been living on the rock. NBA ban Raptors, Jonte Porter for gambling violation. And for those of you who don't know, and Cole, I did this specifically just for you, sir. Here's what they did. Disclose confidential information to bettors. Limited his participation in NBA games, meaning he took his own self out. Betted on his own team games, which that within itself is stupid. And then he betted on games while he was down in the developmental league, which is known as the G League. So yeah, so this is what we gonna do. I'm gonna drop me and Mr. Cool McCain down, and I'm gonna let Cole Johnson have his fun.
Jonte Porter. Young man, you got a problem. I think we're just going to come straight out and say, you got a problem, sir. Now, am I saying this sitting on a high horse or sitting in an ivory tower? No. No, I am flawed and human just as the others are and just as you are. However, you decided to think with your butt instead of your brain and operating like this. The audacity that you had in betting for your team to lose. It's one thing to bet on your team, like what Pete Rose did 30, 35, 40 years ago, where he did bet on his team, but he bet on them to win. That's bad enough. You bet for your team to take L's. I mean, were you that hard of a cash, son? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And the funny thing is, we're just on the heels of Shohei Ohtani having to deal with the scandal of gambling his doggone self. And if it wasn't for his interpreter, Izzy Misahara, taking the hit and fall for him, we'll be talking about him being the face of this is what it looks like when it's a player in professional sports who gambles. Well, I just said to you, sir, Misahara took the hit for him. No one took the hit for you. And now you will now be the face of this is what you should not do when you play in the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, or the NHL, or the WNBA even. You don't bet on your sport. Doubles bet, so you don't bet for your team on which you play to lose. I'll get back to you in a moment, Mr. Porter, but I'm now going to address this portion of Flagrant Foul to the Shield, the Association, and all the other leagues that think it is cool to brag about the fact that you want to dip your toe, your hand, your brain, and your magic stick in the pool of money that your league can respectively gain. There was a reason why you all decided to avoid Las Vegas for the longest time, that you didn't want to even have the scintilla of thought that your sport could be stained with betting. You didn't want to have that stench on your league. Every one of you were in lockstep agreement of it. And then when it was decided, well, hey, the NHL, they decided to have a major league team in Las Vegas. Okay, why not? Go to Knights, do your thing. And the first year they exist, they get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then they win it years later. And now you have the Raiders, who, I will say this with all honesty, bowl cut. Your move was to Los Angeles if you was going to move at all, not to Las Vegas. But I get it. I get it. For the first time in the history of your team, the history of your organization, you had a body, you had a governing body that said, you know what, we will build a stadium specifically for the Raiders. So I get it. I get it. Your organization's been in existence for 64 years. I get it. And then the time you moved in, it was 61, and you got embraced. I get it. I get it. But Las Vegas was not the move for you. However, what you did was you actually made it cool for the rest of professional sports to say, yeah, let's go to Las Vegas, to the point where this past Super Bowl was hosted where? In Las Vegas. So now you have an NHL team. You have an NFL team, and coming next year, we'll have the Las Vegas A's. That's right, Major League Baseball's coming to Las Vegas. And you all are just trumpeting all of this, and it's like, people are making it rain in our clubs. Like hungry magic stick idiots to hoes. This is what is messing you all up. All of the players in the NFL that you have had to slap the wrist of, Calvin Ridley being the biggest name amongst all of them, and now Jonte Porter in the NBA, and now Shohei Ohtani in the MLB, this is what's going to result, because you're going to have these players say, well, you're promoting sports betting. You're promoting it. You have it as signs in the stadiums now. Forget the commercials. You have no signs in the stadiums. What should we do? I mean, hey, we're young, impressionable men and women, but we're young and impressionable. I mean, we don't need to be around that type of stuff, but you fan the flames for it. So, when I mention these harsh words to one Mr. Jonte Porter, understand association in this case, because I'll do it squarely on the NBA. I'm talking directly to you, one Mr. Adam Silver. Yes, it was great. Oh, yes, and you're definitely not on this fray. It was great because you're in this too. You actually held the putrid in-season tournament semifinal and final in Las Vegas. And I'm sure you're going to hold it again there probably every year now. And now in the WNBA, you have a team that is, we talked about earlier, they are the two-time defending WNBA world champs in the Aces. That came from San Antonio to there. Now, gambling helps the league. I'm not naive. I know it does. However, it hurts your employees. And I'm not just talking about the front-facing ones, the ones you see on the court. No. I'm also talking about the front office personnel and the coaching staff. And all of those. I'm talking about them too. It hurts your employees. And are we going to see something else result from this? I'm sure. But I know this could not have come at a worse time for his older brother, Michael Jr., who I make Cool McCain smile with this because he's a Nuggets fan. The older brother now has to concern himself with helping his team to get another ring, since they're the defending NBA champs. But now he personally has to deal with his younger brother, who decided to hit that number. Say, man, did that number hit? Yeah. Break out that bread, man. Break out that bread. Yeah, you know what counted? And yeah, I'm gonna take that. Hit some more on the next game. Yeah, yeah. My team Raptors? Oh, they're gonna take a big time L. Oh yeah, they're gonna take a big time. You know how ridiculous that sounds and how silly that looks? That's you, Mr. Porter. That's you. And that's what you gotta face now. You have to face this. And you have to understand that you have to protect not just yourself, but the league, especially when I know they say to you, quote, you are not allowed to bet on the game, close quote. So now you have learned the big time, valuable, hardcore, punched in the jaw lesson that all of us learn when we're in our 20s. That you are not bigger than the organization you work for. You either have to do what the organization wants you to do, and I'm not just talking about the Raptors, I'm talking about the NBA. You got to do what they want you to do, or if you're going to bet, do so not as a representative of the National Basketball Association, because you know what that's going to now do? It's not going to make everybody look at all the other players and say, oh my gosh, you all are gambling degenerates just like this guy Jonte. That's not what you want, son. Well, unfortunately, that It's what you have. And the NBA now has said, we're not gonna give you some time to cool off. We're not gonna do like what Calvin Ridley got done by the NFL and say, okay, well, we'll give you a full year off. We'll even take another part of another year, and then we'll revisit this after that full year suspension is over. No, there's like you are disallowed from being in any part of the National Basketball Association. You can't even be considered a player, a coach, an executive. You can't even be a towel boy on the court. You got to take this L, and you got to walk that L away from these arenas for the rest of your life. Hopefully that is not going to be the case. But lifetime ban pretty much means you ain't allowed, man. And you could have done something about it. However, hopefully you can learn from this and you learn to do with your money the right thing with it instead of the wrong thing. Unfortunately, you got your hand caught in the cookie jar. Oh boy. And now you, sir, are considered a gambling degenerate.
Did you call that man a degenerate?
If I could add.
A gambling degenerate. Yes.
If I could add one thing.
All right, cool.
How was this man gambling? He was using someone else to place the bets. This man knew what he was going with on. We're not even talking about somebody to say, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. This cat was using other people because he knew the implications of what he's doing. He just thought that he didn't matter enough to why he could just do whatever he wanted to do. He wasn't going to get caught.
Like I said, he thought the laws didn't apply to him. He thought he was bigger than the law.
This man thought he was invincible. Like LeBron James or somebody, Michael Jordan or somebody, don't you think you're going to walk around and gamble? And not only just gamble, not only just gamble on the game, you're going to take yourself out of games to make sure that the over-under for your minutes played hit right for people. Bro, you tried to literally get people paid by saying, hey, I ain't going to play over this amount of minutes and making sure they happen. Did you not think they was going to notice this? Like, seriously. And I know my man Cole saying, like, oh, you know, this just come after the draft. So, hey, this dude probably been doing that since the moment he stepped into the G League. He just finally getting caught.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this wasn't anything new. No question.
But, yeah, degenerate, gambling degenerate, I'm all for it. Idiot as well. As a matter of fact, let's just say it like this. Narcissistic, gambling, degenerate idiot. I think that wraps up him really well.
Playmaker, I can't disagree with anything Cool just said. Not one single syllable.
Well, I know some people are going to be disappointed because that was not my favorite foul. That was Cole Johnson's favorite foul. And I'm pretty sure people are waiting for me to do another favorite foul because they want me to go off on somebody.
We'd love to see you go off, man.
Hey, now I'm not going to do it today. That's Cole Johnson's right there, all right? So let me take a break. When we come back, get into the good stuff of the NBA, and now we got rid of the bad stuff.
Thank God.
Welcome to Ringside Chaos, the professional wrestling discussion segment of the Bear of Texas podcast. The only professional wrestling podcast in the world where pro wrestling is discussed passionately, with confidence, with great knowledge, and most of all, in the most sophisticated way. So brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because chaos is about to be unleashed. Thing with Tony Khan now being in talks to buy WWE, I'm going to be honest with you. I spoke to this with Ricky Litwinkowicz, aka the Master of Mayhem, And he honestly believes that me talking about Tony Khan buying WWE is basically I'm kind of wasting my time because Ricky believes it's never going to happen. Okay. Now don't get me wrong. Ricky, I respect what he says. He could very well be correct, but I got to be honest with you. The fact that Khan is interested in supposedly buying WWE, to me, that's definitely worth talking about. Now, I should mention this. Shout out to Ricky, by the way. And I got to mention this, that even Jim Cornette already had something to say. And he said, and I quote, "Ridiculous to think that could happen," unquote. A wrestling fan that's been super supportive of Brody Lee as a wrestler and everything that WWE could have done with him and, everything that he could have shown and, offered for the wrestling business. For me, I wasn't just a fan of Brody Lee himself, like in character. I strongly respected him, as a human being. Like, I had a lot of respect for Jonathan Huber. That's Mr. Brody Lee's real name. So basically, I had a lot of respect for Brody Lee, Luke Harper, and of course, Mr. Jonathan Huber. Particular episode was about World Class Championship Wrestling. And the episode title is, WCCW Wrestling's Lone Star Legacy. And because I am the Bear of Texas, and I do hail from the Dallas-Fort Worth area of the state of Texas, World Class Championship Wrestling was basically my territory as far as being a wrestling fan goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ringside Chaos is available on all streaming platforms including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
WWE Shop is your online source for all things WWE. Be a part of the site, man, and score wrestling gear for big events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. From current superstars to legends, from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. Don't miss this chance to shop for the most awesome WWE merch. Shop for the best deals as well as WWE gift cards and save big on your favorite items. WWE Shop at Fanatics Experience.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay. And then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
All right, welcome back to Turning the Lights Out. And yeah, I had to get the pro wrestling commercial up in there. And that guy up in the top left corner, he's the reason why all the commercials like that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
So yeah, you see me, the guy down here at the bottom, that guy on the top right. Yeah, Monday, 6:30, Eastern Standard Time, Monarchs of Wrestling. Not a lot to talk about, but now we got a couple more things.
Oh, you the twos. Oh,
no, we got a couple more things to get into, and real quickly, let's go ahead and talk about the play-in. We started with 4. We started with 8, should I say? Now we are down to 4 because some things took place, and we'll run through these real quickly for you. As you can see here, Lakers, Kings, Sixers, and Bulls all won their game, which is not surprising whatsoever, considering what happened in those games. Starting with the West, the Lakers beat the Pelicans to capture the 7th seed, and the Kings got past the Golden State Warriors to make it to tonight's game, and Golden State is now out of contention. On the East side, we had these 4 lovely teams here. We had the 76ers survive against the Miami Heat at home, and then we had the Chicago Bulls just dominate the Atlanta Hawks to send them packing nest. Now the Bulls are playing tonight for the 8th seed. Now, before I dive into those matchups, key injuries took place. very key significant
Ooh.
injuries. Zion Williamson went down against the Lakers. Jimmy Butler himself went down against the 76ers, even though he finished the game. But
No, Himmy.
Yes, Himmy is down. So, gentlemen, key injuries played a key role in these playing games. How do we feel?
Cool. I'll let you start, bro.
Well, I'm gonna say this: the Los Angeles Lakers better be glad that the number one acolyte, I'll repeat for you one more time. The number one acolyte of the street clothes empire.
Oh Lord,
did what he does.
Not the street clothes empire.
Because I'm gonna say this: anybody who don't agree with me, I do not care. I don't need to hear your little ragged comments. Listen and understand. The Lakers won that game because Zion Williamson. This man is talent incarnate, and he's just as injury prone as he is talented.
Wait a minute. Wow. The Lakers won that game because Zion Williamson.
The number one tackler of street clothes empire.
And the messed up part was dude was cooking in that game.
He was cooking in the fourth quarter.
He was cooking the right time in that game to boot, and then the injury happened, and yeah.
You can tell as soon as he put his head inside his jersey, you knew that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
I don't know the extent of that man's injury. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to.
He ain't playing tonight.
No, I know he ain't playing tonight. Yeah.
Hear me out.
Okay.
But we had two people get injured.
Mm-hmm.
One had the testicular fortitude.
Oh, to keep playing. Yeah.
To finish the game and try to help his team win the best that he could. One guy said, I feel a little pain. I'm out of here.
Oh, wow.
I'm out. Like, hey, I ain't feeling 100%. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. I just want to say, look at the difference between years of play, generation. Zion Williamson, I think he's one of the most talented players in the NBA.
He is.
Great body, great talent.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he felt a little tweak, something got uncomfortable, out of there. Jimmy Butler on the ground, crawling around, crying. I mean, that man looked hurt, and he looked hurt the rest of the game. But he knew the best thing for this team is for me to try to stay out here, do what I can do to help, and then try to get us this day off by not having to play again. Zion Williamson was like, bruh, I feel discomfort. I'm out of here.
Well, Cole,
I can't play in this game. That ain't my problem. I feel discomfort. I'm out. As someone looking in, I understand he's not playing tonight. But as someone looking in, you had a couple of minutes left. If you could have stayed on the floor and just been a decoy, that would have been helpful for your team. Because let's be real, Zion don't do a lot of the defensive end. I'm not saying he don't do nothing, but he's not a guy that you're relying on for defense. So if he could stay on the court as a decoy,
he did get one
that
hell
would
of
have
a
been
block on the front.
You know what I'm saying?
So, Cole Johnson, I pass it to you with tonight's games. The Bulls are down in Miami, no Jimmy Butler. And the Kings are down in New Orleans, no Zion Williamson.
Oh, wow. Okay. Kudos to the Kings. They really did their thing against the Warriors. I'm gonna be polite to one of Snowman's favorite teams in the NBA. They made the Warriors look old, and I agree with you, Cole. They are old, but the difference between when these two teams played this week versus this time last year in the first round was that the Kings played as though they did not have enough experience when it mattered. And the age did not catch up to the Warriors. Unfortunately, in this game, it did. To the point where now we have to say with Klay Thompson, should you play another possession in the NBA? It's gotten that bad. I'm not talking ill about the guy. It's just, he was considered one of the clutch shooters in the league. Now he's coming off of a play-in where he put up a goose egg.
I did.
So now you ask this question of him. I want to see him continue, and I want to see him do well, but looks like those MCL sprains and injuries have now caught up with him, and I don't think he's recovered. And unfortunately, with Mr. Curry, he has had to lift so much of that team because of Klay Thompson not being who he has been, and Draymond Green being who he's always been.
Yeah, them 20 games hurt, don't it? Going to state.
Yeah, so the Kings disposed of the Warriors like they were redheaded stepchildren. And I think they can continue onward. Even though they're going to New Orleans, I think they can do major damage to them. Because, I know they got some talent on the Pelicans outside of Zion. But let's be honest. The energy is powered by Zion Williamson on that team.
Shout out to Kiwi Murray.
Yeah. So you got some talent on the squad, but especially with a team that I think they feel as though they should not even be in the play-in, but they simply fell in March and they just couldn't recover. So I think they feel as though last year was just a little taste of what they can offer. Now they can tonight go to New Orleans, pimp slap the Pelicans, and go on to actually give the Thunder a really difficult series for an 8 seed.
And maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, and maybe upset them. Exactly. Now on the other side, the Heat and the Bulls, since Hemi is out, no, the Heat gonna win this game. And
I don't even know Chicago gonna win this game.
And I want the Heat to win because this is the thing. But this is the thing. This is Jimmy Butler's time of the year.
It is.
And he is, in the last 5 years, he has become my favorite playoff performer. So now, I'm hurt. I was hurt when I heard that he tweaked himself and he got injured. I'm like, oh man, this is when he normally just he's like, put more of the spotlight on me. The lights aren't hot enough. They aren't bright enough. Give it to me, because I know it's my time to take this team and put them to places they don't think they can go, because the previous 6 months they just were limping here. Well, now I'm going to transport us further with a rocket ship. This hurts the Heat bad, and yes, they are at home, and I know they still could win because they still have a wonderful coach in Eric Spoelstra, who he could take a chicken and make chicken salad out of it. I know.
He definitely can.
I know.
That man knows how to game plan.
Yeah, I know.
And it's the Bulls we're talking about here.
The Bulls are trash.
I'm not the
look, going for 42 again.
Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bulls. I don't hate them, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Bulls in terms of their prospects. I'm not at all. I just think the Heat are gonna really feel the loss of Jimmy Butler on the court. I think the loss of Jimmy Butler is worse than how putrid the Bulls are. And unfortunately, I'd rather the Heat play the Celtics than the Bulls. But the Bulls win this game tonight. You might as well say that 1-8 series between them and the Celtics, it's a doggone sweep.
Well, guess what? That's what we're going to next. So it's time to talk playoff basketball, because the playoffs begin this weekend, starting tomorrow. And speaking of the first game on the docket is that Eastern Conference 1 seed that you just mentioned, Cole Johnson. So thanks for the segue.
No problem.
The winner of tonight's Bulls Heat game gets
We'll
to
get
go
their butts whooped. I'm sorry, my
Garden.
bad. My bad. I didn't mean to
And
interrupt
face
you.
pretty much the best team in the NBA record-wise in the Boston Celtics. How many games do the opposing team get?
0. I'm sorry. I'm being so inhospitable as a guest. My bad. Come back to me on that one, and I might have a different answer.
He said 0 out the gate. It don't even matter. Cool. Does it even matter who wins tonight's game?
So here's what I'm gonna say. Jimmy Butler's not in a position where, let's say he's out for a couple of games, he's out for a couple of days, and then if they win, he can come back.
Mm-hmm.
At most, one win. That's if Miami wins. I think Miami might be able to get one game where the stars align for the guys out there, and Boston kind of slacking off like in game 3, the first game that would be back in Miami.
I can see that.
And they may get one. If it's the Chicago Bulls, they get -1 games that they win.
Wait, not even 0. -1.
The Chicago Bulls are playing the Boston Celtics.
He said -1.
Go to YouTube, look up Trick Williams theme song, and
no.
for the Boston Celtics.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Yeah,
Whoop that trick.
I like it.
That trick.
You need to play.
Yeah. What? I like it. Oh yeah, man.
I got one person saying I got one person saying 0 regardless, and I got one person saying even the Chicago Bulls is -1, and they're gonna hear Trick Wills music playing in the TV guard.
That's beautiful. That I salute that one. Cool. And because of that, that's why I want the Bulls now.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
But I'll say this: if Jimmy Butler was healthy, I would say the Celtics would still win, but they would have to do it in 6 games.
Maybe even 7.
And I would say at least 6 at that.
Yeah.
I just don't have the faith in how this team looks sans Jimmy Butler. Now they may prove me wrong. I just don't like how they look. And yeah, and when it comes to the Bulls, they're lucky to be here. Let's be completely forthright. Yes, I know they were the 9th seed, but they were still lucky to be here.
Man, they got a 500.
In the Eastern Conference this year, anything below 8 was Infinity Trash.
Atlanta Hawks, Chicago Bulls, ladies and gentlemen.
Infinity Trash.
I had no issue with that.
Game 1, Sunday. So when you get out of church and you try to go get your Sunday dinner going, 1 p.m. ABC, Boston Celtics get ready to destroy whoever wins tonight's game.
Game 1 and 2 is Boston regardless. I don't care who they playing, either of these two teams.
Agreed.
All right, so as you can see here, the 3 of us are saying Boston moving on. Question is, who are they facing in round 2? That's between the 4 and 5, which is the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if I know Cole Johnson like I know him, I think he want to hear me go first.
You are absolutely correct. And before you do go, sir, I was saying congratulations to Mr. Playmaker because the Magic is his team. You know, and I'm being hospitable. I said, congratulations on a wonderful season. They haven't gotten this far since they had Dwight Howard on the squad, and that's been over 10 years. So congratulations. They've been lottery for the last decade plus. And he was like, no, they ain't finished yet. I'm like, come on, dude. Even if they win the play-in, that's the best they have done in 12 years. What are you talking about? It ain't finished yet. I'm like, come on.
All right, so here's the problem. There's a Giannis less Bucks team that is reeling at the moment, and if you beat them, you're the second seed. You're the second seed, and what happens? You let Bobby Portis go for 30.
And this is why I wanted her to go first.
Yeah, I was thinking like,
doggy. I'm like, really? And the same team on the last game of the season comes down to Orlando, and guess what you decide to do? Blow them out the freaking Amway Center.
To prove you right.
Well, it's actually Kia Center now.
Well, yeah, to prove you right. So there you go. They got a chance to play the Bucks. They ran them out of Orlando. So there you go. You were proven right on Sunday.
How you doing, sir?
So you should be happy. Your team proved you right Sunday.
They could have been the second seed. It might have worked. Then again, it might have worked in my favor, okay? Because we ain't playing the team that's the second seed. So. But we get the Cavaliers, and I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot more pressure on the Cavaliers than it is on Orlando. Because you was in this spot last year, you remember? And you had the Knicks. And then the Knicks bullied you in your own building and got you up out of there in 5 games. Like, nah, y'all gotta go. Y'all got bullied by the Knicks, who was lower than you. So, Donovan Mitchell, you're not new to the playoff system. You done it in Utah. You done it the first year in Cleveland. You're not new to the system. So what you gonna do? Are you gonna show up and be Donovan Mitchell or what? Mobley, you got a taste of the playoffs last year. You gonna do better this year? Because you looked terrible. You looked scared. Am I lying, Cole? You looked scared against the Knicks. You looked scared. You looked like you didn't want to beat up.
He said, "Looked it." Last year, Donovan Mitchell, yeah, he didn't. He looked like he wanted no parts of that series. I agree.
Everybody on that team looked like they didn't want no parts of that series.
Yeah,
had looked at it scared.
It was ridiculous because, and Wise Alefe, of course, a brother of ours, big time Knicks fan. We talked about this. And it's like, this Cavs team was supposed to actually look as though they had a set of balls on, but the Knicks just pimped them out and just splocked them silly. I'm like, how the heck you have this team come to your building and just punk you out bad? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So hopefully they have learned their lesson from last year to this year, and I thought they did because they were the number 2 seed in the All-Star break, and then March happened.
And now you got a young, inexperienced Orlando team walking in. You finally had an All-Star for the first time since the Dwight Howard with Paolo Banchero. We got the Wagner brothers. They show up at the time or two. Yeah, I still got Cole Anthony who comes in off the bench, does what he need to do. Markelle Fultz is playing a whole lot better than he ever played in Philly. Who saw that coming?
Yeah.
We got a young team. So guess what? The only thing they got to do is go play basketball like they've been doing, and then see what happens. But in all honesty, if the Cavs do what they're supposed to do, we'd be done by 6 games. Because I feel it will take 2. All right.
So you think the Magic will be done in 6?
In 6.
Okay. So you have the Cavs advancing. All right.
Yeah, I think I was advancing. That's like the most logical thing. But I could be back in whenever this series over and be sitting here like looking at the Cavs like, yeah, y'all is really trash.
I actually have to say I think this is a 7-game series potential. I think this can go all 7. And I think the reason why I can go all 7, I think the Magic, I personally think the Cavs wanted to play someone like the Magic. Because I think the Pacers would have given them a little bit of an issue.
I see what you going. So you finna sit here and say the Cavs try to fight their way to get a certain opponent is going to backfire on them.
I think, yeah, and I think they definitely wanted to avoid the Sixers. So I think they figured, okay, the best opponent for them to go up against is the Magic. And I think the Magic think the same thing about the Cavs. because I really believe that. And this is what makes it so funny. I'm like, okay. Not saying that both of them tried to tank to beat each other, but it almost seems as if I think if you go to both locker rooms, each team would say, I like our chances.
See, I want to say taken for the Magic because they haven't been here, so they don't even know what to do.
Right. So I'm not even going to levy that charge on the Magic. But I think if they were to look at the other 7 teams that they could have played, that's in the pool in the East, and if they had to play any of them in the first round, I think they would pick the Cavs over any other one. And I think the Cavs will do the opposite and say the same thing about the Magic. So I think this is good. I think they could go 7. I think this could go 7. The Cavs got to show us that they learned that lesson from the first round defeat that they took to the Knicks. I think they do. So yeah, I have the Cavs in 7 in this one.
Cavs in 7, Cavs in 6.
So, a couple of things I want to throw out there real quick. So Donovan Mitchell don't want to be in Cleveland no more. He don't care what happened in Cleveland.
Then there's that.
And at the end of the day, he has just seen 2 superstars get hurt trying to put it all on the line for a team that they care about. Who do you think he can go out there and put on the line for this Cleveland Cavaliers team?
No.
The question is, Bishop Bill Winkle all day.
I will push back on your point with this. Donovan Mitchell can't afford another letdown in the playoffs.
Why not? Why can't
he? Can't afford another one.
Is Donovan Mitchell considered to be a top-tier superstar in the NBA?
That's the point.
Not any longer.
That's the point. He can't afford no more disappointing losses in the playoffs.
If he go out there and
he should be. He should be, but I don't think he is considered that any longer.
Right. If he go out there and win this series, he gonna turn around and get beat down by the Boston Celtics. He gonna get pummeled, pulverized, and violated. No diddy.
But that's understandable, though, Coach. So that's understandable, though, because
So you're not going to get the goal of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. So either way, you're still going to lose the team that everybody ties after this series.
I know that. I'm just saying, you cannot lose to a first-year team in the playoffs.
You can't lose to a first-round team.
You can't lose to a first-year team in the
playoffs. Said no, Diddy. Oh Lord. But that's the and Cool's logic. That's the reason why I say the Cavs at 7. They got to show that they learned their tuition lesson from last year, because they have a team that has not sniffed the playoffs since 2012. So you have that in front of them. They have to take care of this team. But I think because of what Cool is saying in terms of Donovan Mitchell wants no parts of being in Northeastern Ohio, that's going to make this series extend and go longer.
And also, you have to think about who's the emotional leader, who's the locker room vet that everybody looking to in Cleveland that's going to push them through, that's going to get them over the hump, that's going to keep them together. Can y'all think of one?
No.
That would be a no.
So you don't have a leader. Your quote-unquote best player don't even want to be there. And you got manhandled last year. Again, no didn't. And now you think that this team is going to come out and beat this young Orlando Magic team who ain't got nothing to play for, ain't got sense enough to know that they should be concerned with this first-round series. And they just got embarrassed walking into the playoffs.
What's up with Didi? What's up with Didi taking strays today? What is going on?
Oh, Didi got to take them strays. He got to take all them strays.
You got to take these strays, bro. You got to take them.
He got to take all them strays.
I'm picking Orlando in 6. Because
you have that little faith in the Cavs.
I don't think the Cleveland has the backbone. I don't think they have the
intestinal fortitude.
Intestinal or testicular fortitude to get over the hump this year.
He said intestinal and testicular. Wow.
They got to go out and get a veteran leader, and they got to go out and get a superstar who wants to be there before that they're going to be able to advance, and they don't have that this year.
You're right, and then they thought they answered that question with Donovan Mitchell, and he's proven to be neither. But yeah.
Orlando has veteran guys that have been around the block.
That's
so they got guys that while the whole team had been in playoffs, they got guys, Gary Harris there. They got guys that be like, look, man, this is what we're going to need to do to win the series. And they've been listening to these guys all year. That's why they're here. Cleveland's there because they're in the Eastern Conference, and there's a lot of teams that suck. And there's not a lot of pressure in the regular season. This is pressure. Pressure busts pipes. Cleveland ain't nothing but a bunch of busted pipes until they get somebody who can handle the pressure.
So basically, what you're saying is the Orlando Magic is basically they're basically the Cavs' winter, and all the Cavs players are like houses in the winter with unwrapped pipes in the north.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Well, that is the first game to start NBA playoffs tomorrow. That's 1:00 ESPN.
Oh, that is the first game. Okay.
Up in the land, Magic's Cavs. Magic's win, I'll be happy.
Oh, I know you'll be happy for a Playmaker.
But if Cleveland loses, oh boy. Donovan Mitchell, I do not want to know what's going to happen to you if you lose to the Magic.
I'm telling you, Playmaker, I understand where you're thinking, but you're looking like he's a top-tier guy, which he's not already. So this isn't going to hurt his standing because it's already not a top-tier guy anymore.
So, from Cleveland to Milwaukee, speaking of injuries.
Oh, good Lord.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
And speaking about a superstar that doesn't want to be somewhere.
The Milwaukee Bucks, they'll begin their opening series against the Indiana Pacers in a 3-6 matchup. That game will start on Sunday at 7 p.m. on TNT. Giannis is still questionable for this series. So I give it to the guy who decided to pick my Magic to actually win a series. And I'm starting with Kobe King.
A pick? Well, thank you, sir. So I'm going to say this. The difference between Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell is vast.
Oh, agree.
Damian Lillard doesn't want to be here. But do you not think that Damian Lillard's smart to say, I want to go to Miami anyway? So how about this? Giannis out these first few games. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to give y'all game time times 10. I'm going to give y'all everything I got in these playoffs. When this season over, I need to get to Miami. Can we make that happen?
Okay. So you're basically saying that Dame Dollar's going to use this playoffs as audition tape.
Dame Dollar's going to use this. I mean, I don't even think you need it for Miami. I think what you need to do is get Milwaukee to say, okay, fine. We did this to get you here. Now, if you want us to trade you to Miami after the season to go where you really want to go, you got to show us. You got to show us that you're going to give it your all in these playoffs. If Damian Lillard gives it his all in this first round series, right? If he goes out there and he's Dame time. If these other guys do their thing, I think Giannis is going to be out 2 or 3 games. I think when he gets back, he won't be 100%. He'll be on like a minutes restriction for probably the rest of the playoffs, unless they make it like to the NBA finals. They're like, look, where they will be playing Denver. If they make it there, so they'll have to do a little bit more. But that's me being facetious. You ain't got there yet, but I'm just saying. So unless he get like to the finals, I think he's gonna be on minute restriction. So you're gonna need a lot of Damian Lillard. So Damian Lillard go out there and get Milwaukee everything they can and try to help them win a championship. Behind the back deal will help you get to Miami because we know you don't want to be here. If you give us your best and we get a chance to get deep in the playoffs and maybe win a ring, behind the back deal, we'll get you to Miami. So I'm going with Milwaukee because the other pieces are there. They have enough because Indiana's going to let you score as well. Indiana's not a prominent team. They're going to let you get points too.
That's my only issue with them. Yeah.
So I think you get Dame time. You get the other guys step up for a couple of games because they don't want to be down 0-2, 2-1 when Giannis get back. They want to be 1-1 or up 2-1 when Giannis get back. I think they got enough to hold for about 3 games. So I'm going to go Milwaukee this series if we can get Giannis back by game 4.
4.
Preferably game 3, but if we can get it back by game 4. I'm going to go Milwaukee because Damian Lillard want out. And Milwaukee ain't the other teams just going to let you just do whatever you want and then leave. If you want to leave, you're going to have to show us that you're willing to give it your all to get up out of here.
So it's a ring or you stay in a buck. Oh, that's
I'm not going to say a ring or you stay in a buck, but your best performance or you stay in a buck. Don't you be out there putting up 20-point games and shooting threes from the 3-point line. You Damian freaking Lillard. We want to get you out there. You took Portland past the first round, and you had hot trash on your team.
You want him to be like this from 40.
Not Not the fact that Cole Johnson is like milking this very much right about now.
That's
gosh. See, and I can't hate on what Cool said, because
he gonna go for Indiana.
No, I'm not. Because the one point as to why I would not pull for or go for them in this series is what you mentioned. The defense is optional at best for the Pacers. If they played any sort of defense, like if they played defense under the good lord,
Larry Bird era, even the Larry Bird era,
the Larry Bird era, heck, even in the Frank Vogel era there.
Yes.
If they played defense like that, then I would pick the Pacers in this series, because I really believe there's two factors. Well, there's three factors in this series to me, or any series the Bucks go in, that make me just give me pause about this whole team. And this is even with Giannis Antetokounmpo being healthy. One, you have Damian Lillard, who really does not want to be 90 miles north of Chicago. He's been wanting to be in South Beach ever since he had the opportunity to go from Portland. So he doesn't want to be there. That's one factor. But, as Cool said, I don't think it's going to be a big enough factor to where it's going to affect this game, much like we think similar in the way of Donovan Mitchell. Number two, how is the Bucks version of Mr. Glass, a.k.a. Chris Middleton? Because the effectiveness of him and the health of him pretty much means if he's on the court, the Bucks go pretty far. If he's off the court, the Bucks will go home pretty soon. And then the coach of the team, Adrian Griffin. Oh no, he got fired when the team was 30-13.
Why does he do this? Why does he always do this?
Does anybody think Glenn Rivers is a championship caliber head coach? Yes, I know he won a ring 16 years ago with the Celtics, but that was with a lineup starring Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce.
No.
That, to me, is why I've given so much pause to say, yeah, the Bucks can win every series. Because any of those factors can just rear its ugly head and just mess the whole team up. Number one, wouldn't mess them up as much because I think Dame wants to at least show that he can ball. Chris Middleton, that's a crapshoot. No, Jonte Porter, don't gamble on how many games he's going to play in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, you can. I mean, you're already out now. You can do it.
Well, he's got to prove that he's not. He got to prove he's not gambling degenerate. Because I know he wants to be back in the league.
Man, he ain't never get back in the league. You might as well go gamble every day, bro. You ain't get back in the league.
Otherwise, he has to go to Europe. And Doc Rivers, you messed the team up all the way. And I'll give you this series, but in the conference semifinals, you're all gonna take an L like you've got it and led teams many different times since that 2010 season where you lost a Game 7 in the NBA Finals.
Cole Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he didn't. Man, use the voice.
I'm just gonna make it quick. I'm taking Milwaukee, okay? So that's three straight from Milwaukee. And question is, who Milwaukee face in the second round? Well, that's going to be interesting because we saw this kind of for the 2-7 matchup.
Nobody.
The 76ers, when they beat the Miami Heat on Wednesday night, gave themselves a trip to Madison Square Garden to take on the New York Knicks. That first game would be Saturday, tomorrow at 6 p.m. on ESPN. So, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are going against Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. So, since I know one of my good friends, Cole Johnson, is friends with one of the most New York Knickerbockers there is, and why?
Sure is.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and You gonna make Wise happy or you gonna make him mad?
Just so I can get under his skin, I want to make him upset.
No.
I want to sit here. I want to sit here, and I want my mentality brother to hear me say I have no faith in the Knicks. They're garbage. They suck. The Sixers are going to trash them to pieces. I mean, they got a lot of experience on the Sixers side. I think they have what it takes to take care of the Knicks. I don't give a crap if they play in Madison Square Garden. They're going to run them out the building. But I'd be lying to every single last one of you. We, on this show earlier, when we talked about the Avengers team of the latest Dream Team.
If you know Cole Johnson, you know how much he hates this.
It was all a dream.
Yes. I love that. In fact, that's what we'll call him now on. Yeah, it was all a dream team. The statement that Kool McCain said typifies exactly what I feel about this series. Where he said, quote, "You gotta wrap Joel Embiid in bubble wrap just to make sure he can actually stay on the court healthy." Close quote. There is no telling what this guy can contract. He can mess up a hamstring. He can mess up his knee again. He can come out down with a cold. He can be COVID ridden. There's just no telling. And what's sad is he can have one of those spectacular games. For example, last year, conference semifinals, when they got up 3-2 on the Celtics. Dude had what was a 34 point, like 14 rebound, 5 block shot game. I mean, he looked like he was the elite player in the series, and then he went Houdini on your behind and disappeared in games 6 and 7. Well, let me take that back. The whole 76ers team disappeared in game 6. They didn't even decide to charter the bus and go from Philly to Boston for game 7. That's the team you got going against the Knicks now. And the Knicks are a squad. And why said this to me, and he's right. You got a team. Yes, Jalen Brunson he's the star and the stud of this squad. There is not even a question about it. He is the star of the squad. But I mentioned to him, I said, you know what Jalen Brunson, the way he is on the Knicks, reminds me of? He reminds me of Akeem in 94. Not 95, but 94, where he was unquestionably the guy, but he wanted to have others shine along with him because he knew it couldn't be a one-man show. Jalen understands it cannot be a one-man show, and because of that, the Sixers don't stand a chance. Now, they will get a game. I may even give them 2. But the Knicks got this game. Knicks got this series.
He's going Knicks. All right. So this is the worst situation for the New York Knicks because when you look at it, you're like, oh, we get the 7th seed because we got 2 seed. Philly? Really? They wanted Miami. They wanted payback.
Well, of course they wanted payback.
Now you get Philly. Now, for those of you who are 76ers fans, you're cheering your butt up because I said what I said. Question. How did Joel Embiid look on Wednesday night?
Like a one-legged man in a kicking contest.
Oh.
If you were paying attention, did Joel Embiid look like Joel Embiid? Nah. So that's a problem. And if you know anything about New York Knicks basketball, they play physical basketball.
Yeah, they're the most physical in the East, if not the whole NBA. Yeah.
So while the draw didn't line up well for the New York Knicks, well, the 76ers' biggest star doesn't need to be physical at this moment in time. It's just not good.
No. Yeah, the saving grace for them has to be Tyrese Maxey has the ball like it's no tomorrow. That's the only hope the Sixers have.
And by the way, for my 76ers fans, do not look forward to Knicks Batum to go off like he did against Miami because that is not going to happen again.
No, it may have been one of those games, but it's not going to happen the whole series.
Hell, he didn't even do it when he was a darn Clipper, and he had even more space to shoot.
And don't get me started on Tobias Harris.
And Kelly Oubre can't fall on everybody's leg on the Knicks.
Not a Kelly Oubre shot.
So, Wise, if you're listening, that's 2 for your Knicks. Cool, will you make it 3 in a row?
I will make it 3. After what y'all said, the only thing I need to add to this is simply this. One team knows how to play exactly how they are right now. That's why they're the number 2.
100. 100.
One
well
team
said. Well said.
doesn't really understand what they're going to be able to get out of the guy they like to sit back and watch.
Well
It's
said.
like, I'll even go as far down as high school sports, right? My daughter plays high school soccer. So she's in 11th grade.
bless her.
So she's going down, they're playing the game. Somebody gets a breakaway, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you should do in soccer is, such and such got a breakaway.
Mm-hmm.
Let me come up the right side, and if
Be
she's
physical.
Left, let me fill in the middle. If she's going to the middle, let me fill on the right, right?
Yeah.
Build the other 2 lanes. So she's got 2 places to pass, or if she gets stuck in the corner, you can cross. So a little bit of soccer for you, just in case you don't know anything about soccer. But what they do, such and such is going to score. Why don't you just jog up there and watch them? What are the 76ers going to do when Joel Embiid gets the ball? Joel Embiid's got the ball, so let me just move, and he's going to go ahead and make a way through 7 people and score.
Yeah.
And if he's not going to do it, Tyrese Maxey going to do it. And if Tyrese Maxey's not going to do it, either Kelly Oubre or Toby Harris or
Toby Harris.
Toby.
My bad, I just call him Toby Harris and just come out. Or Nicholas Batum going to do it. So the rest of us, if we're not whoever that other guy is kind of get it that night, we're just going to watch. Guess what the Knicks are going to do? Tobias Harris think he'll go to the hole on us? All right.
No, sir.
You can go. But I'm going to tell you right now, you might end up over there sitting beside Jimmy Butler.
All right. A friend of the Monsters of Wrestling group, Damien's in the chat. He says, as a Bulls fan who had Tom Thibodeau as a head coach, he doesn't trust Tom Thibodeau in the playoffs.
You might not trust Tom Thibodeau.
I trust that team, though.
But I trust that team over Nick Nurse's 76ers team.
Yeah. Oh, easily. Oh, gosh, yes.
All right. That's the East. Let's go to the West. And this is more interesting than Boston because OKC is one team who jumped up to the number 1 seed after battling the Timberwolves and the Nuggets for like the entire second half of the season for number 1. They either get the New York Pelicans or the Sacramento Kings in the first round. That'll be the final game of Game 1 of the weekend. That's Sunday night. Sunday night, 9:30 on TNT. If it's the Kings, like I think it's going to be, this could be problematic for the OKC up there.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I get it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropping 30 points a game. Being a superstar that he is.
Awesome.
That young team is grit. They are physical. They get after it and all that. You got Holmgren who's trying to be the force in the paint. I get it. The Manchester Sabonis, they had like close to 70 double-doubles this season, which is like ridiculous.
That's the see.
Shai Gilgeous, I know you like to score, but there's a guy over there by the name of De'Aaron Fox who is like
got
to
to
score
stop
as well.
from scoring. Yes.
And then if you weren't paying attention on Tuesday night, Keegan Murray lit the Warriors up for 32.
They can do it again.
So if it's the Kings,
They can do it again.
I might have to pick them. But you know what? The way that OKC plays, the way that they play, and they play well through their star player, OKC gets by the first round. They get by the first round.
Hey, you want to know how to beat OKC?
How you beat them?
You send Josh Giddey to a high school girls game.
Learn how to play? To learn how to play?
No, not to learn how to play. Because he likes those young girls. He'll get unfocused.
Oh.
That's why you ain't heard a lot from Josh Giddey shit. He got away with some griminess. It's been affecting his play. You want to stop him? You find some way. We done lost Playmaker. I done ran Playmaker off his show.
I'm almost jealous of you. I've been wanting to do that for Playmaker.
Hey, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think he was going to run off.
Just have him laugh so hard he has to get off the screen.
Yo, it's just part of my mind. Like, yo, Josh Giddey. We don't talk about Josh Giddey at all. We're not talking about the allegations, how everything got swept under the rug, none of that. We just act like it didn't happen. If that was somebody, if that was SGA or someone else,
we would have heard all about that.
Who looks more like me and you,
we would have heard all about that.
Like Damian or Playmaker,
been vilified hard. Yeah,
you would be out the league, in jail, castrated probably. You know what I'm saying? And
social media would have been throwing all sorts of shade in his way.
Leave it. The cool mechanic goes that route.
I'm just saying.
Gosh.
I am officially now jealous of Cool McCain. My goal has been on this show to have you do what you just did. I haven't done that yet. That upsets me. Cool was able to do it. And he wasn't even trying. That's what makes it even worse.
What am I supposed to say up there? What am I supposed to say?
Hey, I'm with Damien. Giddey does have his own candy truck.
This is just for me. Like literally.
So you say
Cool's been on here taking Diddy shots, then he went from Diddy to Giddey. Like what am I supposed to do with it?
No Giddey or Diddy.
Not from Diddy to Giddey. Oh Lord.
Diddy shots.
Diddy girl.
Even though Cool went all that route, let me break it down for you.
Diddy girl.
It sounds like Cool McCain is on my path of saying OKC gets by.
Okay, OKC barely gets by.
No,
That's
I'm actually not.
Oh, okay.
Sacramento's got enough to beat OKC
easily. Yes.
This was so. If you were in the play-in,
this is the matchup you wanted.
This is the matchup you wanted. I mean, you can say what you want. Mike Greenberg was talking all week before the games, like, "Yo,
we're gonna get to that. We're
gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. I know
and win the second one because this is the matchup you want. You don't want to play the number 2 team. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? That's my squad. But even if it wasn't my squad, Boston Celtics ain't my squad. You don't want to play the number 1 in the East or the number 2 in the West.
Right.
That's not what you want. You want to find ways to avoid them as long as you can.
Yeah.
So if you're Sacramento, New Orleans, you're so pun intended giddy that you're in the position that you're in. You get a chance to play OKC. OKC is 1 year away, in my opinion. One more first and second round loss, and then everything's gonna click for them. Right? They won away. Sacramento's not going away. Sacramento is ready right now with the injuries because they know how to play through them, and they got confidence for days because they just took out a team who everybody thought was going to have a chance.
Here is
that's 2 for the Kings, 1 for OKC. That leaves Kobe Johnson left.
No, I'm not for OKC.
That's not me. I don't want to pick OKC.
Oh well, okay. Well, okay. OKC better get on their knees tonight. Pause. And pray to the good Lord that the Pelicans at home beat the Kings. Because that's the only way OKC will advance to the second round. That's the only way they'll advance to the conference semifinal round. Because if they got to play the Kings are going to destroy them. And the reason being, and you said it, yes, SGA, he is an MVP candidate, and he can score. And yes, you got Chet Holmgren, who, congratulations, young fella. After being injured and out all year last year, you played 82 games this year. I salute you for that, sir. And he wants to be that big-time presence down low. But you mentioned it. You got Sabonis that can cancel out Holmgren. You got Fox that can cancel out SGA. So then it is who is going to step up from the others. And when you mention Murray, I'm like, there you go. And you have a team in the Kings where they are still a little pissed. They had home court advantage last year against the Warriors, and they had them down 3-2, and they simply did not, as Scottie Pippen said, answer the bell in Game 7.
They got burnt by 50.
Yeah, they didn't answer the bell in Game 7. So that taste is still in their mouths, and they want to get rid of that taste. And I think that is what is going to motivate them tonight, and then against OKC, because OKC is going to get stomped against the Kings. They're just too motivated to me. But against the Pelicans, OKC has found the opponent where they can cut their teeth, make all the mistakes of the playoffs they want, and still advance.
Well, we'll see who win that matchup, and then whoever gets to the semifinals, they get to face another matchup. And I'm about to get this. I'm about to get all of this from Cole Johnson. I already know. As soon as I
did it, get a girl.
In the 4-5 matchup, it is the Dallas Mavericks versus the Los Angeles Clippers. That game begins Sunday at 3:30 on ABC. And go ahead, Cole. I already know you.
No, I was going to say, Playmaker, please go first, because although you root for the Magic, your team is the Clippers.
Oh, yeah.
Kawhi Leonard is questionable for Game 1. Go figure.
But he's on
that's
first one.
He said he's out for Game 1 of the playoffs, but he's on the Olympic team who's playing in 3 months. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh Lord.
This man had 1 week injury, bro. We know how it goes with Kawhi.
No. Whenever he sits out, he is sitting out for a good lengthy amount of time.
You know what this is. They ready to leave Crypto.com arena.
Well, they better.
They ready to leave Crypto.com arena.
They better, because
They'll be leaving fast the way they going.
Mm-hmm. But okay,
that's what I'm getting at, because you already playing a guy who's been kicking your butt ever since he got into the league.
So,
and now he doesn't add Kyrie Irving to the mix.
So we have Kawhi Leonard, who he's already starting off the playoffs right, wearing street clothes. We got Russell Westbrook, who's been totally forgotten, but that's not his fault.
Actually, it's not, no.
Because he's just done his thing. He's been unselfish, and he's actually been a model citizen on the Clippers, wanting to win.
Jaime Harden have been model citizens.
Oh, I'm getting to him in a minute.
I know. I just had to.
He's saving him for last.
I know
he's saving him for last. I already know a cool thing. He's saving that guy for last.
Paul George. I know he had some issues injury wise, but hopefully he can pull the wagon, because I think that's the only way, to me, I think in this series the Clippers can beat the Mavs, is if he pulls the wagon. Because Mr. James Harden, you did a wonderful job of not being in trouble, not being embroiled in any type of controversy throughout the year. You even showed signs that you could play and ball. It's great. You even had these dummies thinking you were, I'm sorry, you actually had these people thinking that you were an MVP candidate in February. I remember you did a step back travel 3. And people were like, James Harden, can't he can still do it, can't he? Look at him. Is there anybody better? I'm like, it's February.
But
turn the calendar to May, and then we will talk. So now Now, Clippers, all 10 of you Clippers fans, you now have about a week and a half to enjoy James Harden as an elite NBA basketball player. Because once the calendar turns to May, you can wave all that goodbye. And when we get to Mother's Day, you can kiss the Clippers' chances of advancing anywhere in the playoffs goodbye if they haven't been gone already. I want to say I have faith in the Clippers. I don't. I really do. I don't. And what sucks is, to me, it has to be Paul George has to pull the wagon, and Russell Westbrook has to be the spark plug. And I think there's too many things that get in the way of that, including Tyronn Lue. So
he didn't even get to the fact they're facing the Dallas Mavericks on all teams.
And yes, look, Mr. Flat Earther, cool, but let's get it straight. Mr. Flat Earther understands the ball has to evolve around Luka Doncic, and I was about to say, and oh, by the way, he has proven he's a Clipper killer. And to me, he, in my estimation, is the best player in this series. And because of that, and since the Clippers seem to want to be defense optional, similar to the Mavs have a chance, and I think they'll take it. So I think they'll take it to 7.
You said Kyrie the Herbal Tea is the best player in the series.
No, I said Luka Doncic is.
Luka Doncic is. Okay.
Yes. No. Kyrie is the best player to just throw you off your scent. I mean, the dude will come with a controversy quicker than Joel Embiid can injure himself.
Quicker than Zion Williamson can injure himself too.
I'll put it this way: Kyrie Herbal Tea can come up with a controversy so fast, you would think that LeBron James could actually grow hair again.
Oh no!
Cool, you picking Dallas already?
Come on now, Playmaker.
Oh no! Well, 2 things for me.
All right.
If you can assure me, which no one can,
right?
But if you could assure me that the Los Angeles Clippers are going to be healthy, then they win the series.
Exactly. Agreed.
But can we assure that? Can we assume that?
No.
Realm of possibility. The answer to that question is, as Cole so eloquently put it, no. So unless somehow magically that team stays healthy for 6 of the 7 games, there's no way they're going to win. So I'm going to have to go Dallas.
I know he was picking Dallas. I already knew that.
But if they can stay healthy, they can win the series. I just don't think they are.
Kawhi Leonard ain't playing game 1.
You sound angry. And ladies and gentlemen, shooting lights out audience, this is why I say, although Playmaker roots for the Magic, I really do believe the Clippers really are his favorite team, because the way he goes off of the Clippers, he doesn't even go off of the Magic like this.
Maybe get mad when he talk about it.
Ain't no point to go off on the Magic, because I didn't know where we was at for the most of the time. What's that for me to go off on?
I'm like, dude doesn't even go off on his own team like he goes off on the Clippers.
What's the
point on the Clippers? You hear me?
Cole, you in the same boat as me, because you look at the Rockets like, oh yeah, we ain't doing that. I don't got to talk about the Rockets.
I do feel your pain, because I was that way about the Rockets for 3 years. So yes,
I've been a Denver Nuggets fan my whole life. I feel both your pain.
So it's like, what's there to talk about when it comes to my team?
I know the feeling. People try to clown me about my Rockets. I'm like, look, they trash. Although they were 41 this year, right, but the 3 previous years they trash. What? Okay, fine. You saying that to hurt my feelings? Okay.
All right.
And
this is arguably the hardest series to the picture because of the teams that are involved.
Okay.
For your 3-6 matchup, the Phoenix Suns versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. This series begins tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 on ESPN.
This
Kevin
has
Durant,
potential to be the series of the round.
on one side, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker versus Ant-Man and the twin towers of Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, who's on his way to win another Defensive Player of the Year, by the way.
Agreed.
Cool McCain. There's a lot of people looking at Kevin Durant saying, what you gonna do this time?
He ain't gonna lead. Dog, I didn't mean to say that. That's cold.
You can't
I'm sorry.
talk about Bradley Beal as no type of nothing. Do you even remember what Bradley Beal looked like? Because that man ain't been on the court hardly at all. Oh. That man is the Lord.
Not Lord of the bench.
The Lord of the Street Clothes Brigade.
Not the Lord of the bench. Oh, that's cold, man.
That Joker this year has been the Lord. He started off the season hurt. I think I remember seeing him a few games. He hurt again. He probably hurt now. Even if he gonna play, he probably hurt.
He said the Lord of the Street Clothes Brigade.
This man
What did I sign up for this?
is ridiculously injury proof at this point. I don't know if it's like something that he really just needs to sit down, maybe take some time off consistently and just get surgery, whatever he needs to do. But I cannot say a big three is in Phoenix when only two of them play.
Oh. That man actually said Anthony Davis got supplanted by Bradley Beal. That's some cold stuff.
This year, Bradley Beal,
the Lord,
the Street Clothes ring. Wow, you know what I'm saying?
That's Lord of the Street Clothes Brigade.
I'm just saying, it's a big tool in Phoenix. Because if we see Bradley Beal, let's say we see him game one, we're not going to see him game one.
Okay.
Or game three. Or game four. has that not been Bradley Beal?
Yes, it has been. Yeah, it has. It has been.
I can't really say a big three when one of them ain't going to really show up.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
So you got the big two against Ant, Rudy Gobert, and Mr. No-Show in the playoffs.
Oh, don't do that to Ant Karl Anthony Towns.
I didn't
that's
Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. I can only tell you what happens and what I see. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no control over what Karl Anthony Towns does. But I can see what he does in the playoffs now. And this is where we don't see a version of Karl Anthony Towns that we want to see unless we don't like Karl Anthony Towns. If you want Karl Anthony Towns to be successful, this is when you get disappointed.
Oh, you mean he? Go ahead.
Read this comment.
Okay. Thank you, Damien. Kyrie can come up with a controversy quicker than KD covers his bald spot.
KD got a haircut for the playoffs. I want to say this. So if KD gets a haircut, that means he's serious.
Oh, Lord.
Why did he say that?
Is going to do his thing.
I knew that was coming. That's why I was laughing before he said it.
Anthony Edwards is going to do his thing. But KD,
as soon as he said, hey, you got a haircut, I'm like, oh, that means he's going to say he's serious.
Animal, okay? That is a focused KD. That is Golden State KD with a haircut. You hear me?
KD, not the head. You got a haircut.
So,
you get a brush.
I don't know how getting a haircut changes this man's mentality. But when he ain't peasy,
I had to do it. You said on KD getting a haircut. I had to do it.
So even though it's just a big two,
you got a haircut.
Devin Booker and the Phoenix bench over Minnesota with a no-show cat, Rudy Gobert. And
Lord. Why does he have to say Gobert's number like he is a member of Fat Albert? Oh, my God. Oh,
he's picking Phoenix. He's with the people. Because the people are picking Phoenix to beat Minnesota.
What?
Which is surprising to me when Minnesota
I didn't even see the people. I'm just saying, like, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, you got Mr. No-Show. I'm saying, you got Rudy Gobert.
Oh, Lord.
And we know Ant gonna do his thing, but where else? You feel me? Like it's not enough to be besides that. You got Phoenix, you got KD, he'll go out there and score 30, 35 a game.
Oh gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Without a problem, and even play some defense because he got a haircut.
This
might
need to be my playoff lineup because these two gentlemen here, good gracious.
Kevin Nappyhead, you got a haircut. Go get a brush.
And you know, when you get a haircut, they got to brush it. But he ain't peasy at all.
Oh gosh.
His game be sleazy. All I'm saying.
Oh Lord, then Damien, KD got his haircut at a flea market.
That lineup is a little suspect, but
that's why he said he got it at a flea market.
All right, this is the one series I'm going against the world. I'm going Minnesota. Go ahead, Cole.
You know, I'm somewhat with you, Playmaker, for the simple fact and reason. Let's keep it a buck. Although, yes, the most must-see player in this series is, without question, Anthony Edwards. There's not even a question about that. The best overall player in the series is Kevin Durant. And haircut or beady bead, it doesn't matter. He can fill up the bucket. I would say he can fill up a hole, but I'd have to say pause. But he can fill up buckets with the best of them. I would pick the Suns, but I have two issues with the Suns. Cool mentioned one of them, Bradley Beal, and his health or lack thereof. That now he has supplanted Anthony Davis as the Lord of the Street Clothes Brigade. But Anthony Davis, even though he completed 75 games this year, he still is NBA's version of Mr. Glass, but I digress. The other is Devin Booker. Now, he is now in his prime. It is time for him to step up and show out. It is time for him to show us that he is that guy who has gotten love from Mamba before he passed away, saying he was the next man up. Well, now it's time for you to show us you are that next man up, Mr. Booker. But Cool wisely did mention Karl Anthony Towns and his disappearing act of the playoffs, or the fact that he's a 7-footer but wants to act as though he's Stephen Curry in the playoffs
with 50% of the accuracy.
Yeah, with half his accuracy. Booker has these wonderful games in the playoffs, and then he checks all the way out.
Mama Booker got to be there. Mama Booker gonna be there.
That to me is the biggest problem for me. I want to be with the Suns, but Booker checks out in the biggest games of the playoffs. And I'm like, dude, you know this team needs you just as much as they need Durant. They need your buckets just as much as they need his. And you've proven that you can fill it up. Why are you all of a sudden either taking a back seat? And we're not even talking about he's having bad games. I mean, he just doesn't even show up in these games. And he'll pick one of those inopportune times to not show up. And to me, you have enough of Anthony Edwards because he's going to give you a show every single game, win or lose. And I think he is going to power this. He's going to power the Timberwolves to the next round. But yes, I don't expect much out of Rudy Gobert. And Karl Anthony Towns, sir, I want you to understand this. Get real close to the screen. You're a big man. Stop chunking up threes that you know 75% of them is not going to go in the bucket. If you're lucky, it's 75%. You are a big man. When you were in Kentucky, didn't they teach you to actually own the post? Why are you afraid and allergic to it when we turn into the playoffs? That has been my biggest issue with the Timberwolves ever since they had drafted him. It continues to be my biggest issue with them to this day. Yes, I know. Yes. To this day, yes. Thank you, Deontay Wilder. The Timberwolves advance because I think Anthony Edwards is going to play out of his mind, and he's going to be like that Rice Tide lifting all boats with his performance. I don't think Carthy Towns is going to throw enough of a monkey wrench to mess all that up. I think Rudy Gobert is actually he's going to show a presence on defense enough. I just do not believe in Devin Booker.
So, that brings us to one final matchup.
Oh, the matchup that people are taking out their magic sticks and stroking.
And those of you who are paying attention to ESPN, some of the NBA aficionados, it was this saying that should a certain team lose on Tuesday night and ended up playing today to support another team who's been kicking their ass for like the last 2 seasons. Legit kicking their ass the last 2 seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, they are in the Mile High City for a Western Conference Championship rematch with the NBA World Champions Denver Nuggets.
My king.
As Coach Johnson says and pretends to be a bisexual. Cool.
My king.
You are the champion on this panel. LeBron James is coming back to the Mile High City for another date.
Yep, he is. And I have no reason to believe, and I mean no reason, it's going to be any different from last time.
It shouldn't be.
LeBron James is going to go home this round. Bron-sexuals, get all the joy juice that you can now.
Please.
Okay? Ingest it, save it, put it in some containers, freeze dry it.
Heck, your sick bus can drink it.
You know what I'm saying? Put it in your milkshakes, put it in your coffee, your tea, whatever. Get all your cream freeze while you can get it. After 5 games or less, it's going to be gone. I'm going to give LA 1 at home. I'm going to give them 1 at home because I believe, like, you go home down 2-0. You're at the home crowd. You hype. You know, role players always play better at home. You know what I'm saying? Home cooking. I give the Lakers 1 because you know it's not the finals. It's the first round. Denver still getting together, and Michael Porter Jr. might be off a couple of games because his brother's a fool. So,
true.
I'm gonna give him 1, but I will say 1,000%, a billion, trillion, quadrillion, gazillion %. The Denver Nuggets are going to win this game. I would be surprised. I'm gonna go this far.
Okay.
Homerism, call it what you want. I would be surprised if anyone besides Denver plays the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals.
I don't really think that's too much of a homer pick, really. I know you're a Nuggets fan, but I don't even think that's a homer pick.
You know how it goes with the Nuggets. You pick your team, you're a homer.
Yeah, I know. But for those who don't know you, like Playmaker and I do, Mr. McCain, when he picks his team, it is not because it's a homer. It's because he actually believes in the team and he analyzes it. Because if the Nuggets were garbage, you will know it faster from him than anybody else too. And the Nuggets ain't garbage. So, and I don't root for the Nuggets. I don't root against them either. But, gentlemen, remind me what happened 11 months ago when these two teams met in the Western Conference Finals.
I'm going to reconjure something I said earlier.
Sleep on a summer day. Hey.
Whoop them tricks. Whoop them tricks. Whoop them
1, 2, 3, 4. And Cool brought up a really good point. He said he'll give the Lakers one. I will go so far as to say it better be Game 3. It better be Game 3 they get, because if it's not and they go down 3-0, they'll probably give you their best shot in Game 4, but it'll be I would say it'll be the same result as it was last year, 11 months ago, when they faced off in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals, where it's the best shot they had was still not good enough. And the Nuggets didn't play their best game in that game and still beat them.
This is not my pick, but for selfish reasons, I want them to go down 3-0. Because you know why? Because Game 4 is next Saturday in L.A., and guess who's going to be there? Stephen A. He said they down 3-0 when next Saturday gets here, he's bringing a broom with him.
He better bring the broom with him. Now, this is messed up. The guy that roots for the team that we're picking actually is courteous enough to give the Lakers a game. I ain't. In my humble opinion, yes, you got LeBron James, and yes, we're going to be hearing, even in losses, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy at 39 is doing all of these tremendous things that he's like, it's like he's 29. No. Exactly. They'll act straight up like seals. So yes, you have that, but to me, you better hope that Anthony Davis, he shakes his Nikola Jokic allergy and plays better. Because that is the biggest hope you got to advance to the next round. Oh. I had a conversation with a bronze sexual.
Oh, Lord.
And this bronze sexual had the nerve to opine, quote, I'm going to book it right now. The Lakers are going to win the championship this year. Close quote. And then I ran across a Stephen A. Smith quote saying that if LeBron were to get past the Nuggets and win the NBA championship, he's not so sure that his GOAT argument would hold the same water now that he has won a chip at the age of 39, but still saying that Michael Jordan is still the greatest of all time. And I have to say, this pipe dream can happen, and still, he is not the greatest player of all time.
Y'all just trying ways to make him the greatest player of all time. But you know what? I'm humble, right? I gave him a game. I'm humble. It don't even matter. You can try to spark this conversation. You can try to slide his meat stick in your hand and move out some cran fridge, taste the goodness for yourself. But at the end of the day, he's going home. Round 1.
He's going home soon, and that's what it's going to be. I really believe in my heart of hearts, and I'm not saying this because I'm hating on LeBron and hating on the Lakers. I really could give a crap about both. Like I said to a mutual friend of ours, the Lakers can fall with the San Andreas fall to the Pacific Ocean. My life will still go on because that's how much I really care or don't care about the Lakers. And it's the same thing as how much I care or don't care about LeBron too. But Anthony Davis has to be the guy. He's not. And then you got to have Austin Reeves play above and beyond too. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying you need to have him have Herculean games, and you can't have D'Angelo Russell disappear like he did last year.
When you make D'Angelo Russell work as hard as Jamal Murray does on
Jamal Murray, how about Jamal Murray?
You don't get the same output on the offensive end. If you guard Jamal Murray, you gonna work.
And that is the downfall right there. Right there. You have a team in the Nuggets that is unafraid to play defense, and they force you to play defense, and that's going to tire out the weapons that is in the other category. The D'Angelo Russells. You might as well say Austin Reeves is still considered another. But he's somewhat another and somewhat a third option. You need to have those four explode for them to even have a chance to win games. And you're not going to get 25 points apiece from four of them. 4 out of 7 games in this series. You're not going to do it. You may get it once, but that's it. Once. But the LeBron will never fill MJ's shoes, even if he gets 6, because MJ did it all with one team and 0 losses in the finals.
Not even just 0 losses. He didn't even go to a game.
Oh, I was about to say. 0 losses in the finals, and he did not see a Game 7 in one of those finals appearances. I'm sorry. Officially, Playmaker.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Nuggets 4, Lakers 0.
I'm sorry to disappoint y'all, okay? I'm sorry, because I know y'all look forward to me to give you some analysis, analyze each series, go deep into it, what matches you should look for, and all that stuff. Here's the problem. We'll make this very simple and easy. You know who the Boston Celtics is in the East? You know who the Boston Celtics is? They are the women's South Carolina Gamecocks. It's a freight train through the East for them. You know who the Denver Nuggets are?
I like where you're going.
They're the UConn Huskies of the men.
I like where you're going. I like where you're going.
The problem is, you couldn't beat UConn in one game in the tournament. How are you going to beat the Denver Nuggets 4 times?
And here to me is the biggest problem the Lakers have. Now, I mentioned Anthony Davis has to be the guy. He has to be the one to pull the wagon, not LeBron James. He can do what he does. Doesn't matter to me. And if he has one of those 40-point performances, that's even better for the team. But you need Anthony Davis to be the guy to big up himself and the team. Because if he doesn't, and for the most part that's been the case, they have no answer for Nikola Jokic. No answer for him.
Tell me what team can beat the Nuggets 4 times.
The Celtics are the only team that has the possibility of beating them 4. But even they don't really have an answer for him. And I said the possibility. I don't think it's probable, but possibly yes.
I think the Nuggets are the only team that have the possibility to beat the Celtics sometimes.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Ain't no guarantee. But you know who I think will win, but ain't no guarantee.
Oh, look, I'm picking a. Come on, man. Y'all know I hate the Lakers. What's the point of me picking the Lakers for anything?
Now, wait, no, explain this to me. Now, you hate the Lakers, but you love the Rams.
We went through this before.
You got no answer.
No, he asked me that. He asked me that question before, and I gave him the answer.
I know. I know you were a fan of the greatest show on turf, and they were in St. Louis. I know. But you do my heart well, though, because you just dog the Clippers. I love it.
He don't be playing by the Clippers, bro. He be giving the work.
No, I know. I'm like, because when I really got to know you, Playmaker, I actually thought your team really was the Clippers. So I was like, doggone, he goes to work on them.
No, so
shocked me when I learned it was the Magic.
So here's how this happened, all right? LeBron goes to LA. He goes to the Lakers. If you knew me back then, even with Kobe and Shaq, I can't stand the Lakers. All right? I can't stand the Lakers, period. I don't like the Lakers. That's the team. That's my villainous team.
Understood. I have rooted against them plenty of days. I understand that.
So when LeBron goes down to Miami, I'm a Florida boy. So and plus I'm a D-Wade fan. So LeBron with D-Wade, Chris Bosh. All right, let's go. Let's get it. All right, you went back to Cleveland. Well, I was a Cleveland fan for a while because Kevin Durant made this decision that pissed me off. If you want to keep it above. So There's a reason why I couldn't stand the Warriors for a while because of Kevin Durant.
I understand that too.
And then LeBron goes to the Lakers, so it's like,
So you went from loving them to hate them.
Well,
in
LeBron,
one free agency move.
So LeBron, guess what? I can't stand you. You a Laker. You down in the Lakers, purple and gold. And then what happened? Oh, Kawhi. And remember, I'm a Spurs. I like this. Cole knows this. I don't know who knows this, but I have favorite coach of the NBA is Greg Popovich, so you know I like the Spurs.
Anybody who's had 2 conversations with you knows the answer.
Right.
I'm a Spurs, so Kawhi left, went to Toronto. I understand there's all types of foolishness that happen right there. That's why I don't even go up on Kawhi like other people do. You going to the Clippers? Why is he going to the Clippers? To rival LeBron. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Yes. I like it. And then you bring your Paul George with you to counter Anthony Davis. Oh, I'm loving this. Let's go Clippers. And what would make the Lakers? What would be the worst nightmare for the Laker fan? The Clippers come out and win a championship.
And win it all.
Come out and win a championship. I'm like, yes, I'm
with
it.
But then they'll go with, well, now there's 1 to our 17. So that will never end.
So then that's my thing with the Clippers. Like, yeah, make sure those chumps know, because they've been treating you like all types of stuff for the longest. Now you have the team that's better than them, and they can't stand it. So you go win a championship with LeBron James in the backyard. That makes it even more sweeter. So the reason why I go off on the Clippers the way that I do is because it was all about the LA thing. Because LeBron with the LA.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that's why I go hard on the Clippers.
Okay.
Well, the reason why they disappoint me so freaking much.
Well, I go hard on the Clippers because they had they were being stupid and they picked up James Harden.
So
the man who disappears to the playoffs even faster than Karl Anthony Towns does.
All right, before we get out of here, there's one more thing I got to do, and this person didn't know I was planning on doing this, but I planned on doing it the last time he was been on, but he was in years. But check this out.
The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
That's right. The EP of all EPs getting his own show.
Yeah.
Talking about it all in just 10 days from now. So
yes.
I'm going to give you the camera code to talk about your new show.
All right. Well, thank you, Playmaker. I appreciate that. I could just launch to a story as how this actually came about, but I'll mention one anecdote of it that involves someone here. So I got a chance to be part of a morning team, and that's how I met both Cool and Playmaker. And of course, it's still running. It's called Snowman in the Morning. I got a chance to even actually be at the helm of it and actually run it, not just from behind the scenes, but actually in front of the camera too, and be the lead dog and lead guy. And the way I did it actually got me the favor of actually saying to a whole network, yeah, we want you to have one of your own. They saw how much I did at Snowman in the Morning. It's like, yeah, I think you could do that with your own platform. So here you go. I'm like, all right, cool. And starting in January, I struggled with it. And not in if I can do it, but can it be the way I want it to be? Can I actually do it in the way that I think it deserves? I knew I could actually do a show. I knew I could do a morning show. That wasn't no problem. It was, can I do it the way I wanted to do it? And so in the early expansion of thinking about it and actually trying to have this thought coalesce, I'd say probably 1 week into the new year was when I actually said, I think it's time for me to actually do this and actually have my own show. Cool actually said, sir, you are going to do a morning show. Not, are you going to do one? Not, you should do one. Not, is it possible you're going to get one? No, you are going to do one. Like, wow. And the funny thing is, he was only one of about 5 people that said that to me around that time. I'm like, geez, okay, so I guess I'm destined to do it. So I had my head together with many different people, and I came up with this idea, and now it has come into fruition. And as you can see in the background, weekdays, starting April 29th, I will be doing a weekday morning show. And I'll say this on air. The 2 gentlemen that's in here, they are invited. And they both have invitations extended to them. Playmaker can come on anytime he wants. And Cool knows he can come on anytime he wants. He definitely is going to be, because he was one of the first ones I extended an invitation to. Because he was adamant about, yeah, you should do this. This is you. This is you. In fact, when you do get this started, I'm getting on there. I'm like, okay, cool. So now he has a platform where a morning show host wants it. And it's going to be about news, weather, politics, spirituality, pop culture, any and every single topic that you can think of. It will be represented here, of course, with the EP of all EPs, the EP extraordinaire, the Matt Tynes' spin on it. So, yes, you will get that, and you'll get skits, and you'll get heartwarming, joyful moments, and you'll even get a rant or two. But what you also get is entertainment and joy, understanding that you, when you walk out the door every morning, you'll be a blessed individual because you were entertained, you have something to think about, and you have someone that's in your corner, and that someone would be me. So, yes, BS3 presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. That begins in 10 days. I'm sorry. I'm thinking this is Thursday. It begins 10 days from now. Not this coming Monday, but next Monday. And on the premiere show, I will tell you why I chose that date. Because it has personal significance to me. So yes, BS3 presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. And I hope you can join me. As you can see, live, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. And since Playmaker loves those teams out in LA, 5 a.m. on the Pacific Coast.
Let's stay asleep and catch the recording later.
Like you said about baseline.
Like baseline?
He shouldn't have threw that one up there. He shouldn't have thrown that. That was too easy for me. That was way too easy.
It was your show, so I let you have it, sir. It popped in my head, but I was like, this ain't my show. Sit down.
So,
beautiful.
Happy that you got your own morning show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Lord. Woo, see how my days are, whatever day I'm off, you know I'm coming.
Yeah.
And most of the time I'm coming just to get a live because I know how crazy you is.
Hey, Damien want the link, Cole.
All right. So where can I type this sucker? Oh, heck. Forget that. I can pass it on to Playmaker. He can do it. Yep. All right. Give me just a moment, and I will have that to you.
Hey, I want to shout out Damien, too, man. Damien.
Oh, man. Beautiful comments. Beautiful comments.
And Daniel Berry Sports in the comments as well. But a lot of these guys, man, they really support all the things that we do.
Yeah.
And
thank you, guys.
Man, because
everybody
don't support you consistently. So for you guys that do, you know what I'm saying? We
totally appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate Damien because usually Damien only see me on Mondays with Cool doing Monster Wrestling.
I see Damien all the time, bro.
So, no, what I'm saying is like, so your audience really don't get to see what I do away from Monster Wrestling. So,
I feel you.
This is just one of like how many, like 4 shows that I do, Cole.
Yeah.
The reason why Cole has titled me the hardest working content creator.
Yeah. Yeah, but say that
I want it. Let him have it.
That is, yeah, I was about to say that is something that I did title him. The hardest working content creator I know.
So I mean,
there it is.
It is great to have Damien,
Yeah.
chime in. I appreciate that. It's been great. It's been great to do this. It's been great to have all y'all on. And cool. You got anything you want to plug? Because I know you got a lot of things you're going to. You just as hard working as me,
sir.
Gosh, yes.
So tonight at 7:30, y'all turn into youtube.com/@realplaycallers. You can check out your boy. Then turn around. As far as I know of at the moment, at 9, youtube.com/@sportswave network. We will have an episode of the courtside view, talking a little basketball as well. So definitely, man, if y'all can swing through, definitely check us out. I know a game will be going on, but hey, it's gonna be plenty more games. One courtside view a week.
So, yep. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, me and Cool will be live Monday, 6:30 p.m. for Monitor Wrestling.
Whole lot to discuss, as always.
Yep. And one of them, which I'm taking a break here, loud. So it's like either Cool going to call it right or I'm calling it right, and it's like there's not been a moment where both of us was wrong. One of us is going to be right. So
pretty much.
So yeah, what happened on Monday night makes me happy. SmackDown tonight, find time to watch that this weekend to make sure I'm ready for Monday. Then next Thursday, I'm surprised Cool didn't mention it, but he's having a draft show going on.
Too many shows, man. You are correct.
Yeah. So Cool will be doing a draft special. I have not decided if I'm doing a draft show or anything for the Rams.
That's what it'll be at too.
But it could be give y'all a special. It could be a college football episode coming because some breaking news took place today while we was doing the show. So I'm gonna go through some information to determine if I want to talk about it live on the show because it's been a while since I did Bearing Down the Gridiron, which the great Cole Johnson helped me put together, as he did help me with Shooting Lights Out for those of you who didn't know. So there's a lot going on, and we keep going at it. We keep working hard. So thank y'all for joining today. Hope you got y'all ready for the NBA playoffs. Don't forget tonight's play-in games. Winners get to take on the 1 seeds this weekend. And we going to see if anybody can stop Boston and Denver from having a collision course in the NBA Finals. With that being said, for Cool McCain, for Cole Johnson, I am the Playmaker signing off. Catch y'all later.
You've done great, but you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting